store carries a wide variety of truck and trailer accessories, gooseneck and dump equipment. Anytime you want to maximize your flatbed, have hauling needs, require specialized fabrication, or need trailer repair, get the job done right. For professional advice, go to the experts at Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer Equipment, 5680 Expressway in Missoula, or check out their inventory at www.rmtte.com.
New to Missoula, your home improvement company offers full-service remodeling of windows, doors, bathtubs, walk-in tubs, and showers. Customize your home with quality craftsmanship to create the home of your dreams. Before you start your project, visit the showroom, discover top-performing brands, and the newest innovations. Your home improvement company is open and hiring. Get the best pay and benefits you deserve by providing world-class products and outstanding service. Your home improvement company, now open and hiring in the Southgate Mall next to Shields.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We now return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
Well, no rest for the weary as the Paddleheads are already back in action, beginning another six-game set here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park, opposite the Glacier Range Riders on a Monday night here on ESPN Radio Missoula and GoPaddleheads.com. And spending a few minutes of his time to get us ready for the start of this series with Glacier is the manager of the Paddleheads, Michael Schlack. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us on a Monday evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be back. It's nice to be home. We love being here. We love the home fans. And, you know, when you've been gone for a week, you really are glad that you get the comforts of home again.
And the reason the Paddleheads return home is they just wrapped up a six-game set just yet last night, actually, opposite the Billings Mustangs, a team that has had a lot to play for in the second half. If the season were to end today with the Paddleheads, the top team in the second half in the North, that second playoff spot would go to the Billings Mustangs, the team with the next best record. And at times, they were a very challenging opponent this past week, splitting that six-game slate. Came down to the ninth inning. Jalen Garcia, the walk-off base hit against Sam Hellinger in the ninth inning. Tight back and forth really all week between those two clubs, and they really pitched well. What did you see from the Mustangs, and what do you think they'll present challenge-wise potentially down the road?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts at the top, and I think it goes without saying, Jim Riggleman, that name alone in baseball, you know, it means a lot. He's done a lot of different things at the highest level, major league manager, and great guy. But he's got those guys rolling over there, and they got good starting pitching, good bullpen, and a good lineup. I mean, really, like that was that had a playoff feel to the series. You know, it was a bunch of tight games, and obviously to come away on the road with a split against a team like that, we're pleased with. You know, we went in 4 up, we left 4 up, so we'll take it. But yeah, when you can command pitches, when you can shut down big innings, when you can do little things the right way offensively, you know, you have a chance, and that's what they do well. So it was good to see that, so that if they do make the playoffs, we've seen them recently, and you know, it was a good test for our guys for sure.
And do you think it's good in these late parts of the season to have a lot of high leverage, high drama situations like that to get you ready for the postseason?
Absolutely. Any chance we can get. I mean, it does nobody good to be playing, you know, with a 12-run lead or down 12. I mean, we need games like that. We had 6 of them.
Right.
I mean, we had 6 games where we could have won, could have lost, you know, had to do things. It was every pitch, every at-bat mattered, and so it was really nice to play baseball that way. Yeah, it helped the guys out a lot.
Cruising with the manager of the Paddleheads, Michael Schlack, ahead of Game 1 of a 6-game series between the Paddleheads and Range Riders. And looking at the opponent tonight, Glacier, a team you've had pretty good success against, an 11-6 mark overall against the Range Riders. But in recent weeks, they've been playing some better baseball. 8-2 in their last 10 games coming into tonight, and they also have seen some solid starting pitching, shutting out the Great Falls Voyagers for large stints of action last week. What type of challenge do you think that'll be to face a team of the Range Riders that's playing some good baseball?
I mean, any professional team is going to be a challenge, I think, and this is a good league with good competition, and you know, I know that they've given us some fits at times as well. So I think the biggest thing is, rather than focusing on who it is and what they've done, is just to take it one game at a time. You know, we know what we need to do. We know what our plan is, and so really winning the at-bat, winning the inning, and ultimately winning the game is the most important thing. And you know, what happened to us in the last 10 and what happened to them in the last 10 are irrelevant at this point, which is actually good because we can kind of clean slate, start it over.
One last thing for you here, Michael, and we'll get you out of here. Paddleheads making a roster move today. Only 2 days left, being able to add players to the playoff eligible roster. You do add a right-hander that will be eligible for the playoffs, guy that's mainly pitched out of the bullpen in his professional career, was in the Frontier League a season ago, the American Association this season, Auggie Voigt, guy that's added just today. How do you think he'll be able to help out the bullpen, and what type of skill set have you heard about him?
Yeah, so got him from the American Association. A lot of my contacts know him or have known him, and it's pretty consistent with the fact that he's deceptive, throws strikes, and has good put-away stuff, you know, can strike a guy out. And so that's huge. I think also just bringing in a fresh arm is big. You know, we love what we have here, but also, you know, it's been a long season, and a lot of these guys have been stretched pretty thin. So it'll be nice to have that extra arm in the bullpen, and especially someone that's pitched at a higher level and in an experience type setting like the American Association. And the Frontier League is allowed to have older, more experienced players than this league, and so he's done it against older guys, more experienced guys, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do. But he's going to be someone out of the bullpen that we can rely on in tight spots with his deception and swing and miss stuff to get us out of a jam.
Game one of a 6-game set between the Paddleheads and Range Riders coming up in a few minutes here on ESPN Radio. My thanks to Michael Schlack for spending a few minutes of his time, and we'll come back with the first pitch of action from Zootown after this.
Hockey and Lacrosse Wolf is gearing up for their massive Labor Day back to
KKVU HD3 Stevensville and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula.
Hey, this is manager Michael Schlack, and you're listening to Missoula PaddleHeads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9.
My thanks again to Michael Schlack for hopping on with us on the pregame. Paddleheads are on the field for the top half of the first inning. We are moments away from the start of this ball game here on ESPN Radio and GoPaddleheads.com, Glacier Range Riders and Missoula Paddleheads. Got a little designer, Timmy Turner, on the loudspeakers. That means one thing. Mark Timmons is on the hill to start things off in the top half of the first inning for Missoula. Batting order for manager of Glacier Range Riders, Nick Hogan, looks like this. Starting things off will be Ryan Cash. A little bit of a different look for Cash. We've routinely seen him at the top of the order, near the top, but so often we've seen Ben Mcconnell, the speedster, in the leadoff spot. A little bit of a different feel with Mcconnell hitting more in the middle of the lineup tonight. Cash starts things off, the second baseman, with Brent Broussard, former LSU Tiger, batting second. He's in left field. Different spot for him also defensively. Usually have seen him at shortstop, but Broussard bats second. The power-hitting Dean Miller. At first base, DH is Brody Wafford, cleaning things up. Eddie Mccabe, former Great Falls Voyager, bats fifth, the third baseman, with Ben Mcconnell, who I just mentioned, batting sixth. Drew Sims, rookie catcher, bats seventh, with the Golden Domer, Ryan Cole, batting eighth, the right fielder, as the first pitch of the ball game is on the way, and it's down low to Ryan Cash. We get things started right on time at 7:15 local time here in Missoula. Pretty nice night for baseball. Clear skies, not much breeze, temperatures in the low 80s. 1-0 pitch is just low for ball two to Ryan Cash, the team leader in batting average. Mason Dennison winds out the order, the shortstop, with Tanner Solomon, right-hander, getting the ball against Missoula tonight in the bottom of the first inning. Cash takes, again, this one a called strike on the outside. Michael Chuckerman calling the balls and strikes tonight, with Stu Bertrand at first. And the third base umpire is Jordan Smart. Those are your umps for tonight's ball game. 2-1 the count, Timmons to the plate. Swing and a miss by Cash. Slider that comes right around the plate on the inside. 2-2, Cash a .338 average. 50 ribbies, 10 doubles, Broussard to follow. 2-2. Shadows a factor here in the top of the first, coming almost straight across the diamond from the left. 2-2 is cut on and missed. Going after an off-speed pitch towards the outside, and that's how this ball game begins. Here comes Brent Broussard to the plate. Second season in the Pioneer for Broussard. Was with Billings a season ago, has spent the entire year with the Range Riders. This season playing in over 70 games for Glacier. Mention it though, routinely at shortstop, one of the better defensive shortstops in the Pioneer, but tonight playing in left field. Bit of an open stance from the left. Timmons' delivery is fouled off to the right. No ball, one strike count. Broussard, mentioned known more for his defense and speed, .247 batting average, 32 RBIs. He will try to lay down a bunt every now and again, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Trying to bunt for a hit. A 1 pitch to Broussard is on the outside corner, slider, 0-2. We'll take a look at the defensive alignment for the Paddleheads momentarily, give you their batting order as well in the bottom half of the first inning. Count quickly, 0-2, 1 out, bases empty, top 1, just getting things started. Dean Miller on deck, the third batter in the order for Glacier. 0-2 pitch on its way. This one a ground ball, left side that gets by the left side of the infield. Base hit on a couple of hops for Brent Broussard with 1 out. Defensively, the Paddleheads looks like this. Outfield, familiar cast of characters. Brandon Reilly in left. Keaton Greenwald, center field with Lamar Sparks in right. That's your outfield across the board. Cam Thompson at third base with the other Cam, Cameron Willman at short, occupying the left side of the infield. McLean O'Connor, second base. Jason Newman at first with Nick Gatewood putting down the signs for the right-hander Timmons. So a base runner with 1 out for Glacier in this spot with Dean Miller stepping into the box. Broussard striding away from the bag. When the Range Riders get runners on, look for them to do just that, run. Well over 100 stolen bases as a team. Ben Mcconnell, I mentioned typically the leadoff man for these Range Riders. He leads the Pioneer League in stolen bases with well over 30. My memory serves me correctly, he has 38 stolen bases. 1 ball, no strike count. Dean Miller, a .310 average, does have some pop. Have to be careful with this guy from the right side. 11 home runs. 1-0 pitch breaks off the outside corner. Over 80 home runs as a team for Glacier. That's saying something considering the ballpark they play in, Flathead Field, the brand new digs out there in Kalispell, or in between Kalispell and Whitefish. Surely is a pitcher's yard. 2 ball, no strike count with 1 out. The pitch from Timmons is fouled away to the right. But one powerful bat the Paddleheads won't have to deal with, at least right away, is Livingston Morris, the big, strong power hitter out of Georgia Gwinnett, who put on a show this past week, made waves for his performance in a losing effort against Colin Runge of Great Falls. What a wild knockout game that was last weekend. 5-4 in 1 round. Woof. As Mark Timmons will toss one over. I think that's the most home runs I've heard in a knockout round in this iteration of it, the last 2 years. Pioneer League tried out the knockout round, and instead of extra frames started last year, continued it on this season. But 5-4 in 1 round. Woof, that's wild. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side. O'Connor will flip to Willman. That's 1. On to first. 2. Double play. 4-6-3. Twin killing. That ends the first inning. 1 hit with 1 out, but that's it for Glacier. No runs. We will head to the bottom half of the first inning in a scoreless ball game on ESPN Missoula.
Or on the TuneIn Radio app. Now, back to the ballpark.
We're ready for the bottom half of the first inning. Right-hander Tanner Solomon will take things over, making the start. Wayland Baptist University product, first-year professional out of Phoenix, Arizona, gets the ball tonight for Glacier. Having a pretty solid season. His first pro go, 4-4 mark for the right-hander, a 5.60 ERA. Batting order for the Paddleheads coming up here in the bottom half of the first. Brandon Reilly starts off in his normal spot with Cam Willman batting second. Lamar Sparks bats third. Jason Newman cleaning things up. Nick Gatewood doing the catching, batting fifth. Solomon's first pitch is down below the knees to Reilly. Nick Gatewood bats fifth, I mentioned. McLean O'Connor bats sixth. Cam Thompson seventh. Andrew Noviello is the DH, batting eighth, with Keaton Greenwald winding out the order. Reilly seeing one called a strike again on the outside part of the plate, or fouling one back, I should say. Count now 0-2 to B-Rye. Take a peek at the defensive alignment for Glacier momentarily. Going down in order, thanks to a double play ball. When Timmons is at his best, he is able to induce a lot of ground ball outs, so that's a good sign for the right-hander. Timmons does have some good success to draw back on against Glacier also from earlier this season. 0-2 pitch is up high. to me, his kind of coming out party as a pro, where he started to see some more success at this level, was a start he had on Father's Day. 6 innings strong for Timmons. 1-2 pitch is below the knees. Blocked by Sims, the catcher, Utah Valley State product. Sims, who began his pro career in action against Missoula earlier this season, games at Flathead Field. 2-2 the count to Brandon Reilly. Solomon's delivery is just down low. Didn't miss by much. Ball 3. Breaking ball, it was just off the plate away. Good amount of horizontal and vertical break on that pitch. Payoff to Reilly is in the dirt again. Ball 4. Typical B-Rye at bat, works the count, draws a walk, a leadoff base runner for Cam Willman. What a find Willman has proven to be this season. First professional year out of the University of New Mexico and Kansas State. Now with D1 pedigree, obviously, looking at that resume, actually made his pro debut for Missoula in the month of June in Kalispell. Thinking back to it, action at Flathead Field at his first pro home run there. First pitch is up high and away to Willman. 40-plus games for Willman, average at .318, 6 homers, 11 doubles. Also has played fabulous defensively for the Paddleheads at short. 1 ball, no strike count with Reilly on at first base. No score, the pitch is up high. Fastball missing up for Solomon. Guy that's going to mainly be around the zone from the right side. Fastball in the mid to upper 8s. 78 hits in 72 innings, 62 Ks, only 30 walks. Willman takes another pitch up, 3-0 the count now. So all over this place is Solomon to start things out. Only 30 walks in 70-plus innings. So this kind of a blip on the map for him. This is his 7th start of the year, 24th appearance overall. It's been kind of a utility arm, appearing in the bullpen and the starting rotation. 3-0 pitch is at the bottom of the zone. Strike 1. It's been more in a starting role last couple of weeks, though. Actually made one of his first starts against the Paddleheads. Fared pretty well back on July the 26th, as this one is bounced foul on the first base side. That start a win for Glacier 9-2. Went 6 innings strong, gave up just 4 hits and 2 runs. In action against Missoula. Next start in that 6-game series at Flathead didn't go his way, though, allowing 8 runs on 5 hits, or 8 hits in 5 runs. Had that mixed up. So kind of good and bad for Solomon against Missoula. 2-2 to Willman on the way is just outside for ball 3. Did not miss by much. Fastball with a little bit of natural cut to it, moving off the plate away. Just missed the outside. Pretty darn close. 3-2 with nobody out. Big pitch here with Sparks waiting. The runner's on the move, and Willman fouls it away. Don't oftentimes see Reilly take off. Only 7 steals on the year. But in a 3-2 count, just maybe trying to stay out of the double play. A lot of times you'll see runners take off 3-2 and with 1 or 2 outs, but not so much with nobody out. A little bit of an aggressive approach from Schlack. 3-2, swinging a foul again. Reilly doesn't take off that time. Good pitch to hit, 3-2. That was a fastball that was right out over the plate. Just on a tee, right at the belt. Willman could do nothing more but foul it back. Full count, no score, bottom 1, leadoff man aboard for Missoula. Here's another 3-2. This one is strike 3 on the outside corner. Fastball on the corner, records out number 1. Willman got away with taking that pitch once. Second time it comes in, gets called for strike 3. Borderline pitch, pretty close again. This time gets the benefit of the doubt in a 3-2 count. That was a big call. Big difference between 2 on and nobody out and 1 on and 1 out. Sparks in the box, sees one tossed over to first. Reilly dives back in safe. Lamar Sparks, what a year. .396 batting average, team best First pitch, sparks a little bloop into shallow right. Ryan Cash, the second baseman, drifts into shallow right, makes the play for the second out of the inning. Speaking of defense, as Jason Newman stands in, let's look at the Range Riders' defense. Brent Broussard in left field with Ben Mcconnell. Center, Ryan Cole, the former Notre Dame product. In right, that's your outfield across the board. Former Great Falls Voyager Eddie Mccabe at third base with Dennison. Shortstop, Cash, who we just heard from at second base, making that catch at second base. Dean Miller, the first baseman, with Drew Sims doing the catching for the right-hander Solomon. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Here's Jason Newman. First pitch, Newman takes one at the belt for strike one. Looked like a changeup towards the outside part of the plate, top of the zone. Newman lets it go by for strike one. 1 home run for Newman last week, 391 average, 111 ribbies. Fastball runs off the outside corner. A ball and a strike. Sims kind of slides to the left. Keep that one from going to the backstop. Kind of a wild start for Solomon. The first batter also got into a 3-ball count with Willman in the box. 1-1 pitch is just outside for ball 2. That looks like a breaking ball towards the outside part of the plate. A lot of horizontal movement on that pitch. Came in at around 75 miles an hour. Seen a changeup, now a breaker. Go along with the fastball with some cut to it, moving away from right-handed batters. Nick Gatewood would hit next in this half inning if it rolls along. My eyes do not deceive me. It looks like Gator got fresh cut. 2-ball, 1-strike pitch on the way. This one is taken just below the knees. Good pitch. A changeup that ran towards the bottom of the zone. Looked to be right there at the knees for strike 2. Instead, gets called below the knees for ball 3. Now Newman in the driver's seat in a 3-1 count. With 2 outs, Reilly at first. The pitch. Swinging a ball rifled, foul. Off to the right. We've seen Newman's approach more and more. Be to right field. That was a good pitch to hit as well, though. Fastball right down the middle. Solomon's gotten away with a few like that. Made a pitch like that earlier in a 2-strike count to Cam Willman. They fouled back. 3-2 offering, runners on the move. It is taken all the way for strike 3 on the inside corner. Breaking ball fools Newman, and that's how this half inning comes to a close. 2 Ks for Tanner Solomon. A walk to the leadoff man, but that's it. No runs here in the first inning. Top 2 coming up. We will see Brody Wafford step into the box first, team leader in home runs, followed by Eddie Mccabe and Ben Mcconnell. 4, 5, 6 spots in the order for the Glacier Range Riders. Pull hitter from the left side is Wafford. times has had good success against Missoula. Remember the stretch where he had home runs in consecutive days in action at Flathead Field. And being a pull hitter, he's got to like hitting in this yard. 287 down the right field line. The first pitch to Brody Wafford is grounded towards first base. Newman in fair ground will take it to the bag himself for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Brody Wafford retired for out number 1. Eddie Mccabe will now step in. Mccabe in his first pro season with both Glacier and Great Falls was traded from Great Falls to Glacier about 20 or so games into the season out of Georgetown University. 273 average for Mccabe. Open stance from the right side. Mark Timmons delivers the first pitch. This one breaks off the plate away, a slider, 1-0. A base hit for the Range Riders in the first, so both teams getting 1 runner aboard in the first inning, but no runs on the scoreboard. 1-0 delivery is a called strike, a late called strike from Chuckerman, a ball and a strike. Going off speed on the first 2. Keep an eye on what else is going on in the Pioneer League. Games with playoff implications. 1-1 pitch is a line drive base hit into right field. Past Jason Newman at first, came off the bag, thought maybe he would reach out for it, but couldn't quite get there. So Mccabe lines one to right field, gets his offensive night started, hitting here in front of Ben Mcconnell. Mcconnell, a speedster, 299 average, has been hovering right around 300 for the vast bulk of this season. Pioneer League leader also in stolen bases. And sometimes this offense kind of goes as he does. First pitch is just outside for ball 1. Also, no Livingston Morris, so you're missing that pop in the middle of the order that a lot of times is a factor for these Range Riders. 1-0 with 1 out. Runner on first is Mccabe. The pitch is a ground ball through the right side of the infield. A base hit for Ben Mcconnell. Just textbook hitting from Mcconnell, grounding one where the defense wasn't. Middle infield and double play depth. So often you're taught in baseball to ground one through the right side to take advantage of the opening on the infield. McConnell does well that time. 2 base hits in a row for Mccabe and McConnell, as Drew Sims will now step in. 20-plus games played now for Sims as a pro. Made his debut as a professional in late July in action against the Paddleheads out of Utah Valley State. 2 homers, 230 average, 5 doubles. Sims made quite a splash in his first game as a pro against Missoula. First pitch is up high for ball 1. Home run and a double in his first couple of at-bats. It's interesting how that seems to happen almost routinely. Guy in his first pro game makes a splash right out of bed. A ball, no strikes the count with 1 out. 2 runners on. The pitch on the way is a slider that wraps around the inside part of the plate. Strike 1. Slider just dancing from Timmons as Nick Gatewood will now step towards the mound to talk with him. Not sure if the two got signs crossed, but Gatewood, after that strike called on the inside, immediately goes out to talk with Timmons. Not so much with McConnell in the box, but Sims now the runner to first. This a much more likely double play opportunity. Twin killing in the first inning got Timmons out of that frame. Sims running with catcher's legs. Big guy from the right side. 1-1 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. Goes with the slider again. Knee high. This one more laterally towards the middle of the plate. Sims way out in front. When Timmons has got that slider working, look out. He can be very tough on the mound. Such a key pitch for him. 1-2 with 1 out, 2 runners aboard for Glacier. The pitch on the way. Pop up, right side, drifting towards foul territory is Jason Newman near the coach's box. He's got it for out number 2. Another pitch, another slider, gets jammed by it on the inside part of the plate. That is the second out recorded. It will now be up to Ryan Cole to make something happen in this half inning. Bay Area native is Cole, from right around the San Francisco area. Just finished up his collegiate career at the University of Notre Dame. Big week to be a Golden Domer. Looking ahead to Saturday, I'm sure he'll be locked into a TV someplace. The first pitch on the way to Cole is just outside. That's because the Notre Dame football team this next weekend, of course, taking on Ohio State in that battle of the Titans in college football. I don't know if I want to look at a TV on Saturday. My Oregon Ducks are playing against the defending national champions. Oh boy, I don't know how that's going to go. 1-0 with 2 outs. The pitch is taken just outside for ball 2. Slider in a great spot towards the bottom of the zone. Outside corner just didn't get the call. That was a great pitch from Timmons. Gatewood had it framed up nicely also. 2-0 with 2 outs to Ryan Cole. Still trying to figure it out at this level. 2-0 is fouled off the end of the bat. 2-1 now the count. Cole also right around 20 games played for Glacier. A 195 average. 3 doubles. Does have a pro home run. 6 driven in. 2 ball, 1 strike count. 2 hits in a row. Puts Glacier in a run-scoring opportunity. Mccabe and Mcconnell, the runners. Mccabe, the lead runner at second, with Mcconnell behind him at first. 2-1, no score here in the top of the second inning. Cole waiting with that open stance from the right. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball foul, actually a line foul. Off to the right, near Mason Dennison, the shortstop, the 9th batter in the order. He would swing it next for Glacier if Ryan Cole can find a way aboard here in the top of the second. Timmons trying to pitch around a couple of hits in this inning. Base runners and hits in each of the first 2 frames, now 3 for Glacier. 2 ball, 2 strike count to Ryan Cole. Timmons has got what he wants from Gatewood. Target inside. Looking at second is Timmons. Here it comes. Swinging a ground ball right side. O'Connor able to move to the right, and he can't handle it at second base. Looked like it was routine all the way, coming towards the bag a bit for O'Connor. Instead of being the final outs, that is an E4, and this inning will keep on going. Seemed like initially that O'Connor had it cleanly at second. Looks like maybe on the exchange from the glove to the bare hand. Maybe trying to rush that play over to first a bit with Cole hustling up the line. So maybe that's what causes the mistake. So give credit to Cole, not mailing it in, so to speak. Put pressure on the play, causes the error. Bases loaded now. 2 outs for Mason Dennison. Big, tall, lanky guy from the right side. First pitch is a line shot up the middle. A single for Dennison. And this is probably going to, just bring in 1. As Mccabe scores, stopping at third base is Ben Mcconnell. So that's error by O'Connor directly leads to a run for the Range Riders. 1-0 now to score on the RBI single from Dennison. Just jumping right on that first pitch. Looks like the breaking ball towards the outside. Good approach, sitting on the breaker. He's been throwing it routinely in this inning and lines it right back where it came from. So the Glacier Range Riders take the early lead, 1-0. Bases loaded still with 2 outs for Ryan Cash. Cash struck out swinging in the first inning to lead things off. Timmons' first pitch with the bases loaded is low and inside, ball 1. Just sunk towards the bottom foot of Ryan Cash, left-handed batter. Able to step out of the way. Timmons, this is a big spot to try to rein it in. Make sure that's just the 1 run that scores, as the 1-0 is fouled off to the left. A ball and a strike the count. A rare mistake also at second base from McLean O'Connor. Routinely seen him make flashy catches from the right side. It's been very solid defensively, along with Cam Willman, the other middle infielder at shortstop. Mistake leads to a run in this inning, though, as the 1-1 gets by Gatewood for a second, but Mcconnell is not going to test it. Looked to me like that ball actually hit Chuckerman, the umpire. after going by Gatewood. So I think the Paddleheads got a little bit lucky in that spot, that ball didn't end up trickling farther away from Gatewood. It was a pitch well down below the knees, in the dirt, off the plate as well to Cash, taken for ball 2. No runs come in to score on that low pitch. 2-1, 2 outs, bases still loaded for the Range Riders, leading now by a run. The 2-1 pitch, swinging a hopping ball towards O'Connor, waits for a good hop, does O'Connor, flips to first. That is it for this half inning. Range Riders do take advantage of a mistake in this inning. Mason Dennison, an RBI single, makes the score 1-0 Glacier as we head to the home half of the second inning. Nick Gatewood's going to start things off for Missoula in the bottom half of the second inning. Hello. Not quite the fifth. I know games in Billings started a little bit early, so maybe that's where my mind was, as Nick Gatewood takes the first pitch outside from Solomon. So we're off and running in the second. Bottom of the second. Glacier with the early advantage, 1-0, taking advantage of a defensive mistake. Gatewood hits one high in the air to left field. Looks playable for Broussard, drifting back a few paces, making the play. A pace or two in front of the warning track for out number 1. So Gatewood going after that fastball towards the meat of the plate. His approach was to left field. We've seen him do that a little bit more in recent games also. Just getting underneath it a bit for out number 1. Mcrae and O'Connor. Was O'Connor that had that blip defensively in the last half inning that led to the run scoring opportunity, I should say. O'Connor a chance to make up for that, but this at bat here, first pitch swung on and missed. O'Connor had a big swing in the game yesterday, a 3-2 loss opposite Billings. Jalen Garcia ended up being the hero for the Mustangs. 0-1 pitch is down low. First time the Paddleheads were walked off this season, walk-off single. But before that point, Missoula was trailing in the 9th inning by a run. 2 outs, 2 strikes. 1-1 pitch O'Connor takes outside. He laced a double down the left field line. Very dramatic moment, scoring Patrick Chung to tie the game. Missoula just unable to quite get to the end of regulation though. 2-1 pitch is grounded foul. Third base side going screaming by Jeff Lyle in the coach's box. 2-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out. 4 hits for the Range Riders in the first couple of innings. The run scored in the top half of the second, an unearned run. 2-2 is off the outside corner. Solomon in another 3-ball count. Again, not used to seeing this from the right-hander. 3-2 with 1 out. Thompson to follow. The payoff to Dell. Swing and a ground ball sharply hit right to the third baseman Mccabe, and a couple of hops flips to first in time for out number 1. Route number 2, rather. So sharply hit on the ground by O'Connor, but right to the glove of Mccabe on a couple of hops. 2 outs, base is empty. Next into the box will be Cam Thompson. Been a pretty nice run for Thompson. His last 6-8 games or so, seen his average bump up to 314 overall. Solomon working pretty quick. First offering is popped up foul. Left side 0-1. Last 6 games of the Pioneer League regular season playing in this ballpark. Remember, the Paddleheads will have at least one playoff game on September the 14th. We know that. 0-1 is up high. Potential for 2 playoff games, depending on how things shake out. If Missoula were to win the first game on the road and then the second at home, then there would be no need for that third game. 1-1 pitch is a sharp grounder foul. First base side, who's that down there tonight? Mitch Sparks, starting pitcher. Coaching first base tonight. Been kind of a revolving door the last couple of weeks. Seen Domingo Pena out there, Austin Croson. Jeff Lyle staying in his normal spot at third, though. The ball and 2 strikes. Noviello would be next. This one is just low for ball 2. Going to the breaking ball that time was Solomon, just missing below the knees. Sims tried to bring it up quickly to give the umpire a look at it. Something, remembering back to action at Flathead Field, he's very good at doing. Framing pitches up behind the plate. 2-2, way up high for ball 3. Tried to go back to the curve, but missed way up high. Another 3-ball count, 3-2. 2 outs to Thompson. Only base runner for the Paddleheads in the first was also on a walk. Trying to stay out of that here with 2 outs is Solomon. The payoff pitch, up high, ball 4. Fastball up above the hands, just missing the top of the zone. And Andrew Noviello will get a shot. Noviello has proven to be a nice addition since coming over to the Paddleheads from Ogden. Overall this season, in action with both the Raptors and Paddleheads, his average for the season at .310. 35 RBIs, 10 doubles. First pitch, Noviello sees this one miss the zone, 1-0. This is 10th game played with the Paddleheads, 11 for 27. Hard to improve much on that. Cam Thompson is a threat to steal a base at first. 1-0 with 2 outs. Thompson with 11 steals on the year. The 1-0 is up high. Only been caught 3 times also. Team leader, speaking of steals, is Keaton Greenwald. Greenwald waits in the on-deck circle. He would hit next in this inning. The 2-0, swing and a miss by Noviello. Breaking ball towards the inside part of the plate. Noviello was out in front of it. He was sitting on heat, trying to drive that one. 2-ball, 1 strike count with 2 outs. Range Riders lead 1-0 in the bottom half of the second. Thompson a fair size lead away from first with Miller there with him. The 2-1 is fouled straight back. Challenge pitch again, right out over the plate. That was a breaking ball that was right there at the belt. That was a mistake. No question about it. Great pitch to hit right out over the plate. At some point, Solomon's going to get burned throwing a pitch like that. 2-2 with 2 outs. Runner takes off. It is taken for strike 3. So that's the end of the inning. Thompson on the move. It doesn't matter as Noviello strikes out looking at a pitch right out over the plate. That is the end of the inning. 3 Ks for Solomon, all 3 of them looking. We will head to the 3rd inning with the Range Riders up early, 1-0.
on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Third inning about to start off. 2-3-4 hitters are expected for Glacier. Brent Broussard to start things off on a clear night here in Missoula. Fast approaching is the month of August, so these summer nights at the yard are slowly dwindling. It always just seems like the summer just cruises right on by. I mean, it's wild that on Saturday, Montana Grizzlies will be playing some football over at Washington Grizzlies Stadium, starting off their regular season. Speaking of that, Montana Night is coming up on Friday. Paddleheads will be celebrating University of Montana community, be wearing specially designed Montana-themed uniforms for that one. Also, we'll have a couple of athletic teams out, along with the president of the school, to throw out the first pitch of the ball game. I believe the Grizzlax team, along with the hockey team, and the dance team all be out here on Friday, so a lot for the maroon and silver. That'll be cool. 1-0 with Brent Broussard in the box. First pitch was down low. This one a rocket base hit to left field. Broussard jumps all over that one, and also is misplayed in left field. Broussard trying to stretch it out. The throw to second base is not there. Reilly put it on the bag at second, pretty close. Broussard gets a bit greedy, but ends up being able to slide in safely. So another defensive blunder leads to this, in this sequence, a free 90 feet. Rule that a base hit and then an error on Reilly, who misplayed it in left field, allowed Broussard to move up to second base. So Broussard, 2 hits already in the first 3 innings. Runner on at second base, nobody out for Dean Miller. Miller hit a slow rolling ground ball to end the first inning. First pitch is a high hopper towards third. Thompson has it all the way, looks the runner back, throws to first. Out number 1. So 2 bouncing balls off the bat of Miller so far. He's 0 for 2. So far, Timmons doing a pretty good job being able to induce the ground ball out. When he's on, it's what he does at his best at times. Brody Wafford will now be the hitter. Team leader in home runs, I mentioned 17, also has 18 doubles. 63 driven in for Wafford. Good spot for him with the man on in scoring position. First base is open in this spot also, if Timmons wants to think about using that. Target away from Gatewood, the first offering. Runs towards the inside to the left-handed batting Wafford. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Now 5 hits on the board for the Range Riders in the first couple of innings, so they've brought their bats with them on the road here in Missoula. 1 ball, no strike count. Here it comes. This one's down low. 2-0, 1 out. Broussard at second base. Wafford bounced out to Newman on the very first pitch he saw to start off the second inning. It's where the 1 run came in for Glacier, who leads 1-0 at this point in the top of the third. 2-0 is the count. The pitch to Wafford. In the dirt, bounces to the right. Gatewood gets to it. Broussard took off, though, and is at third base. Good anticipation by Broussard on the bags, immediately jumping towards third once that ball skipped so slightly away from Gatewood. As Wafford, a free swinger, is now in a 3-0 count. Timmons, a guy that's similar to Solomon, very rarely not around the zone, but in a 3-0 is Wafford here with 1 out. Eddie Mccabe to follow. The pitch on the way is a called strike inside corner. Bit of a delayed call from Chuckerman, 3-1. All the action in this 6-game set will all be night games through Saturday. Kind of an interesting schedule last couple of weeks of the season. 3-1 pitch is a ball hit pretty well. Left field. Reilly drifting back, looking up at the wall. This ball is gone. Brody Wafford going to the opposite field and left. Typically think of Wafford as a pull guy to the right, but this one goes over the wall, the ESPN Missoula sign, and left. And it's now a 3-0 lead for the Range Riders. Home run number 18 on the season for Brody Wafford. RBIs number 64 and 65. Just went after that fastball towards the bottom of the zone and golfed it over the wall and left. Wafford has also proven to be a pretty good low ball hitter. So pitching to his strengths a bit was Timmons. Eddie Mccabe now to the plate. And Schlack touched on it in the pregame. His Range Riders have been a pesky opponent for the Paddleheads at times, proving to be so again here. First pitch to Mccabe is just outside for ball one. They've been tough on a lot of teams here in this second half. 17 and 17, much better half than what they experienced in the first half. 1-0 is a pitch at the bottom of the zone, strike one. Kind of wrapping around the inside corner. Glacier also having to deal with the Paddleheads a decent amount in the second half. They hosted a 6-game slate in the month of July there. 1-1 pitch is a ball fouled off over by Nick Hogan, the coach's box. Barehanded stop. There you go. 1 ball, 2 strike count with 1 out. 3-0. Now the advantage with the bases empty in the top half of the third for the Range Riders. Mccabe, a base hit, his first at bat. He's 1 for 1. Ground ball through the right side of the infield. Mcconnell to follow. The 1-2 is a ground ball over the top of the mound. Willman has it behind second base. He flips quickly to Newman in time for out number 2. So despite that grounder going up the middle, Willman was shifted a bit towards second base, comes behind second, makes the play for out number 2. Mccabe retired for the first time, now 1 for 2, as Ben Mcconnell will come into the box. Mcconnell also a base hit, as the Range Riders built to rally in that second, loading the bases. First pitch, Mcconnell hits one sharply, but right on one hop to McLean O'Connor. Flips to first. That's it, that's all for this half inning. But Glacier does extend their advantage. Home run from Brody Wafford makes this a 3-0 contest with the road team Glacier out in front. Bottom 3 is coming up on ESPN Radio Missoula. So the Paddleheads offense will look to get things kicked into gear here in the third inning. Glacier Range Riders with the early advantage, 3-0, thanks in large part to Brody Wafford in the last half. Impressive swing of the bat. An Oppo home run to left field. Keaton Greenwalt will start things off in this half inning for the Paddleheads, followed by Brandon Reilly and Cam Willman. Missoula looking for win number 60 in action tonight. Just unbelievable what this ball club has been able to put together this season. Obviously still a good amount of things to accomplish down the road for this club last couple weeks of the season into the postseason. But still making some waves. Paddlehead's social media team putting things into perspective, how great the season has been, releasing a graphic today just showing the Paddleheads' win percentage, which sits right now at just over 70, 71%. That is the top mark of any club in professional baseball, win percentage-wise. Just unreal. 0-1 pitches fouled away. Paddleheads had the top winning percentage in All-Pro ball last year as well. And who are they up there with? Oh, some team called the Los Angeles Dodgers. Nah, I don't know. Who are the Dodgers? I mean, you beat me. The 0-2 is off the plate. Of course, Dodgers, one of the most storied franchises in all of baseball. Team loaded with guys like Mookie Betts and Clayton Kershaw, you name it. Also, featuring some other teams from independent ball on that list, from the Atlantic League. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs on the list. 75-37 record. Shout out to their outfielder Matt Hibbert, one of my old buddies. Hibby, hope you're doing well. Covered Hibbert years ago as a member of the Sonoma Stompers, still in pro ball, such a great guy. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball, third base side to Mccabe. He will flip over to first, and on a step-and-a-half play, Greenwald is out. Bouncing ball right side. We'll see what the second time through the order does, as Brandon Reilly will step to the plate with one out and the base is empty. Just two base runners the first time through for Missoula, and both were on free passes. And I've mentioned it a few times also, Paddleheads looked like they had a couple of opportunities to get to Solomon just looking at location. Pitch is located right out over the heart of the plate. First pitch, a foul tip into the glove of Sims. Reilly not waiting around, attacking that pitch on the inside. Foul ball, a fastball on the inside. Still looking for their first hit are the Paddleheads, trailing 3-0. A 1 is below the knees. Reilly, one of the two free passes issued for the Paddleheads offense, was a leadoff walk in the first. 1-1 with Willman to follow. Here it comes. This one, a rocket base hit right field. First base hit for the Paddleheads. Reilly just ripping one right field. Nothing much that Cash could do there. Paddleheads got their first base knock. Cameron Willman will now be the batter. Looks like a changeup that just snuck out over the plate. Reilly was waiting in the bushes for it. Lines it to right. Willman struck out looking. I've also seen times where Solomon's tied up Paddlehead hitters looking for different pitches, especially that breaking ball in a 2-strike count. First pitch to Willman is just off the outside corner. 1 ball, no strike count. 3 strikeouts for Solomon in the first 3 innings, and all 3 of them looking. 1 ball, no strike count. 1 out, Reilly on at first base. 3-0 lead for Glacier. 1-0 is skied into right center field. Moving over is Mcconnell into the alleyway, has enough time to track it down as that ball hung up nicely for him. Fastball towards the outside. Willman tries to go into right center with it. Just got underneath it enough. Mcconnell able to stride over to make the play for out number 2. Here's Lamar Sparks. Sparks hit one to Cash in the first inning, 0 for 1. Takes just off the plate on the first pitch. A ball, no strike the count. Off speed towards the outside corner. Real close, but not quite on the outside. 3-0 ball game, 6 hits compared to just 1 for Missoula. 6 hits for the Range Riders, 1-0. This one is called a strike. Similar spot, another off-speed pitch towards the outside corner. Once got the call, once did not. Count even at 1 with 2 outs. Newman would be next as Solomon will toss over to first to check up on Brandon Reilly. Billings Mustangs on the road. Paddleheads just finished up a 6-game set with them, facing off with the Ogden Raptors over at Lindquist Field. 1-1 is below the knees. Sims blocks it. Not going anywhere is Reilly, 2-1 with 2 outs. First and only trip to Ogden in the regular season for Billings, a 6-game set. Is a good spot to spend a prolonged stint of time, though. Ogden, 2-1, is in the dirt again, blocked by Sims. Getting his work in last couple of pitches. Ogden Lindquist Field, a real nice ballpark. Sits right the beautiful backdrop of Wasatch Range. Team Hotel is right downtown next to the ballpark, so you're not spending any time on a bus riding around, just walking everywhere. Good spot to spend some time on the road. 3-1 with 2 away. The pitch to Sparks is a called strike late. Fastball on the black. Called strike 2. Sparks looked like he was getting ready to flip the bat to start walking down to first, but at the last second gets called back. So now Reilly will be on the move on this 3-2 pitch at first base. Solomon's delivery as the runner goes is way outside for ball 4. Surely not what Solomon wanted to have happen there, because now he will have to deal with Jason Newman. Newman, a strikeout victim against Solomon his first time through. Struck out looking. Mentioned all 3 of the Ks. Looking. And Solomon and Newman actually got assist on this one. Little tidbit from Scott Gladstone, the play-by-play man from Glacier. Solomon and Newman actually played together in college woodbat baseball, so they know each other pretty well. Swinging a foul back. Nothing in 1 count with 2 outs. So whenever you are teammates with somebody, you're able to pick up on a few little odds and ends, maybe give yourself a little bit of an edge. You seem to have it in his first at-bat against Newman, striking him out, but representing the tying run in this spot with 2 runners on, 2 outs, in a 3-0 ball game. The 0-1 to Newman. Swinging a ball hit out towards shortstop, caught by the shortstop Dennison for out number 3. Sawing off Newman as the barrel goes flying out towards third base. So Solomon definitely has the scouting report on Newman, it seems, retiring him there in a clutch spot with 2 runners on. We are headed to the 4th inning, and the Range Riders have the early lead, 3-0.
Now, K275BS Missoula. We now return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
Well, Tanner Solomon doing a nice job keeping the Paddlehead offense under control. His first 3 innings of work, no runs for the Paddleheads offense. 3 on the other side for Glacier, opposite Mark Timmons. Top of the 4th inning about to begin with the bottom 3rd of the Range Riders order coming up. Drew Sims, Ryan Cole, and Mason Dennison just made that catch on the soft line drive on the left side. Just sawing off Jason Newman was Solomon. Barrel of the bat just went flying out towards third base. Initially thought that Newman lost the handle on the bat, but no, it was on a broken bat. Drew Sims stands in to lead off this half inning. 6 hits for Glacier, just 1 for Missoula. First pitch is on the inside corner, strike 1. I'm sure that Michael Schlack would like Sims to get through this inning and probably the 5th as well, at least. 0-1. Grounded slowly left side. Willman coming in to the left of the second base bag. Throws out Sims for out number 1. Slow rolling ground ball leads to the first out. Sims now 0 for 2. Ryan Cole will now be the batter. Cole was the man that reached on an error with 2 outs committed by McLean O'Connor back in the second. That defensive blunder directly led to an error, or led to a run, I should say, as the next batter would drive in the first run of the game. First pitch to Cole is on the outside. Fastball 0-1. No ball, 1 strike count. We touched on last week how Paddlehead offense struggled at times against the Billings starters as Cole waves and misses at the 0-1. Count now 0-2. The same has been true once again here on this Monday night. Ethan Mcrae, a left-hander for Billings yesterday, completely tied up the Paddleheads offense in 7 innings. He was impressive. 0-2 with 1 out. We'll check in on how Billings is doing in Ogden momentarily. 0-2 is off the plate away. Action over at the aforementioned Lindquist Field between the Mustangs and Raptors. 1-0 lead early for Ogden in the 4th inning. Kenny Serwa on the bump for Billings tonight as the 1-2 is fouled off by Ryan Cole with 1 out. Another game with some playoff implications over at Centene Stadium. Idaho Falls Chuckers and Great Falls Voyagers. Idaho Falls in a little bit better positioning for the postseason than Great Falls is in the standings, and just looking at trends. 1-2 pitch is popped up first base side. Jason Newman will watch this one drift just below the Blackfoot party deck. Slapping at that one was Cole, and it's 2-strike count. 1 ball, 2 strikes still to Ryan Cole with 1 out. Member of that Notre Dame baseball team that made it all the way to the College World Series this past spring, taking down the previously number 1 ranked team in the country to do so, the Tennessee Volunteers. Very surprising. 1-2 is just inside. Slider. Great spot on the inside part of the plate, just a bit in. Good pitch and a 2-strike count. 2-2 with 1 out. Real tough to lay off a pitch like that. Waiting next is Mason Dennison. 2-2 is fouled off again. Pitch towards the outside. Cole just keeps on spraying foul balls all over the place. Battling away here with Timmons. There is some activity going in the Missoula bullpen. Looks like some medicine ball tossing starting for Nate Boyle. 2-2 with 1 out. Timmons' delivery is a high hopper towards third. There is Thompson. He throws quickly across low, but to the glove of Newman on 1 hop for out number 2. Nice job scooping that 1 hopper by Newman on the throw across from Thompson. 2 outs now in the inning. Base is empty. Top 4, Mason Dennison will be the hitter. RBI single to get the scoring started for Glacier in his first at-bat. Lined one right up the middle to get the Range Riders on the board. The first pitch, taking this time on the first pitch towards the bottom of the zone with some sink. 0-1. Good pitch. Looked to be a changeup from Timmons as he looks for a 1-2-3 top of the 4th inning. Keep this a 3-run deficit. The 0-1. Ground ball left side. Willman on the 3rd hop flips to Newman. That will do it for this half inning. 3 batters, 3 outs, 3 ground balls. Good work for Mark Timmons. To the bottom half of the 4th inning we go here in Missoula. Range Riders out in front 3-0. Game one of a 6-game set here in Missoula. Glacier Range Riders and Missoula PaddleHeads in action on a Monday night. Haven't had a ton of games on Monday the last couple weeks, having a number of off days on Monday, but mentioning kind of a funky schedule coming down the stretch. Kind of the whole reason why we're playing on this Monday, not having it off, is because the PaddleHeads will also be in action next Monday for the holiday, Labor Day. So they will have Sunday off, but it really won't be much of an off day because the PaddleHeads will be traveling for their final road trip, a lengthy one, out to Boise. Once again, final 6 games of the year in Boise, as Nick Gatewood takes the first pitch down low to start off the bottom half of the 4th inning. Tanner Solomon has just allowed 1 hit through 3 innings. Came in the last frame from Brandon Reilly. Nick Gatewood, McLean O'Connor, and Cam Thompson. 5, 6, 7 hitters, trailing by 3 coming up. 1-0 to Gatewood. Swing and a miss. Chasing one off the plate. Ball and a strike the count. Gatewood has had at least 1 hit in each of his last 9 games. Having a great second half. Swing and a miss again. Change up 1-2. Knee high or maybe just a hair bit below it. Good pitch from Solomon, working quickly on the mound. Gatewood hit a fly ball out to left, caught by Broussard. In left center, 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Again, down below the knees, Gatewood just couldn't stay off the change. That is out number 1. First strikeout swinging for Solomon, his 4th overall. Good way to start off this half inning. Keeping the leadoff man off the bases, McLean O'Connor will now be the hitter. Something that Solomon has done a pretty good job of in general. He's allowed just 1 leadoff man to reach. It was in the 1st inning. O'Connor, a mighty rip at a fastball on the first pitch he sees. Strike 1, 0-1, fouling it straight back. No ball, 1 strike count. Cam Thompson to follow in this 3-0 ball game. Pitch from Solomon, bottom of the zone or just below it. Just missed down low. Count now a ball and a strike. O'Connor bounced out to Mccabe. He's been a popular guy over there at third. 1-1 is a foul tip at home plate. Initially thought it was caught by Sims. Foul tip into the glove for strike 2. Instead, just a clean foul as it pops out of the glove at the last second. Breaking ball on the inside. O'Connor looked to be a bit out in front of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. The pitch to O'Connor. This one a ball hit pretty well. Left field, drifting back towards the wall is Broussard. He has it near the warning track for out number 2. Line shot jammed. O'Connor maybe just enough to keep that one from getting to the wall. Another out for Solomon. That is out number 2 in this inning, as he looks to make this a very quiet 4th inning on both sides. 6 up, 6 down. Thompson, one of only 3 base runners for the PaddleHeads to this point. He drew a walk with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Brandon Reilly, the only guy so far to have a hit. First pitch, Thompson chases one low. No ball, 1 strike count. Andrew Noviello would be next in this half inning if Thompson can find some semblance of success for this offense. The 0-1 is low and inside for ball 1. Solomon routinely going below the knees in this half inning, with the breaking pitch fooling this PaddleHead offense. Chasing out of the zone numerous times. 1-1 pitch. This one hit pretty well. Straightaway right field. Drifting back, looking up is Cole. This ball is gone. Cam Thompson gives the PaddleHeads a jolt with 2 outs and the base is empty. That's the first run of the night. A solo blast to right center field. Home run for Killa Cam. The PaddleHeads are on the board. 3-1 the score. Cam Thompson now in double digits with the home run ball. That his 10th home run of the season. Paddle in the hat time indeed for Cam Thompson and the PaddleHeads. Home run number 10, RBI number 59, and sometimes all it takes is 1 swing to get you going. Noviello swinging at the first pitch, hits it right to Dean Miller, who will flip to Solomon for out number 3. So Solomon quickly brings an end to the inning after giving up the home run, but the Paddleheads do break through in this half inning, cutting into the deficit. To the 5th inning we go. Paddleheads trail now 3-1.
You're listening to Paddlehead Baseball, ESPN Missoula.
So one step in the right direction for the home team, the Missoula Paddleheads. Still trailing, though. The long ball getting Missoula on the board in the last half inning. Cam Thompson leaving the yard. Now a 2-run deficit, 3-1 the score, with Ryan Cash and the leadoff hitters coming up in this inning for Glacier, top 5 against Timmons. Timmons' delivery is low and in to Cash. Quiet start for the team leading in batting average. 0 for 2 in his first 2 ABs. Strikeout and a ground ball. Only strikeout victim for Timmons so far. The 1-0 on the way, grounded foul, first base side. Timmons, for the most part, pitching to contact. Looking at it, the last 6 outs for Timmons have all been recorded on ground ball outs. All 3 of them in the last half inning, obviously. 1-2-3 frame for Timmons. 1-1. Cash takes outside. And there is no activity going in that bullpen right now in the 5th either. Saw Nate Boyle down there earlier kind of messing around with a medicine ball, but hasn't gotten on a mound yet. The 2-1, foul back. And the Paddleheads' pen will be a little bit short-handed tonight, giving a few guys some rest. Sam Hellinger will not be available, nor will Mark Simon. Both have been used pretty heavily over that Billings series, so you don't want to wear them out too thin. 2-2 pitch on the way to Cash. This one hit out towards right center field. Pretty well hit. Sparks on the run. Makes the catch in the alleyway in front of the Shields sign for out number 1. Nicely done by Sparks, tracking that one down in left center. That one looked like it was going to be extra bases off the bat of Cash, but making the play on the run with Sparks to take extra bases away. Cash can't buy a hit tonight, now 0 for 3. Next to the plate will be Brent Broussard. Broussard, good success against Timmons in his first 2 plate appearances, 2 for 2, both singles. First pitch here is a ball lifted towards right field, going towards the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. Broussard's going to stop at first as Sparks fires it in to second base. But Broussard again, jumping all over Mark Timmons, and he's attacked pitches early in the count as well. Have success. That ball was just hit a little bit too hard to that short porch and right. So it kicked right to Sparks, who was able to corral it quickly to make the throw in. And it's a good thing Broussard didn't try to stretch it, because the throw from Sparks to the bag at second was right on the money. He would have been out by a mile at second base trying to stretch it out. But now 3 for 3 is Brent Broussard to start things out. Here's Dean Miller with one out. 3-1 advantage for Glacier, and Miller takes one in tight for ball 1. Pretty close pitch. On the inside or close to it. Miller immediately started shaking no, but that was a borderline pitch, call the ball. Dean Miller's hit 2 on the ground so far, 1 a double play. Broussard may be on the move here to try to stay out of a twin killing at some point. 1-0, swing and a miss. Pitch at the belt, Miller out in front of it. A ball and a strike the count with 1 out. A little surprised we haven't seen the Range Riders on the move more. Mentioned how at times they are just on the bags constantly on the move. Broussard, not a large lead here though. And Timmons now will step off the mound. Maybe trying to keep Broussard as close as he can to first. There's a throw over, and that's exactly what Timmons is trying to do. He's trying to keep Broussard as close to the bag as he can. Runs in the second and third innings for Glacier to take the lead. Paddleheads finally getting on the board in the fourth. 1-1 pitch to Dean Miller. This one a rocket to left field. Forget about this one. Way gone. Dean Miller drops the barrel on that one. Second home run of the night for the Range Riders. And that one an impressive swing to make the score 5-1. Knew it was gone the second that one touched the bat. A shot off the bat of Dean Miller. Wow, to make it 5-1. Slider on the inside, and Miller just hammered it over the wall and left. 419 feet to straightaway left field. What a shot by Miller. To make the score 5-1. Home run for Miller, his 12th of the season. RBI number 53 and 54. As Brody Wafford, the other guy who's left the yard tonight, will stand in. His home run was also to left field. First pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. With that home run swing, that cues some activity in the bullpen, as Nate Boyle has just started throwing. 1 out, base is empty, top 5. Largest lead of the night now for Glacier at 5-1. The 1-0 pitch. This ball hit straightaway right field. Forget about this one. The Range Riders go back-to-back. Brody Wafford, his second home run tonight, makes the score 6-1. The long ball, a huge factor for the Range Riders the last couple of innings. That one was no doubt about it too from Wafford. 393 feet into right center field. Now 19 home runs for Wafford. Just one back of Gabe Wirtz of the Billings Mustangs in the race for second place in the Pioneer League. Michael Schlack is going to go out to the mound now to talk with Timmons. 2 home runs, last 2 at-bats. Glacier stretching the lead out. Missoula's offense struggling on the other side, so don't want obviously see the lead get much bigger. And Nate Boyle had just started throwing moments before that second home run from Wafford, so he will still need a bit of time more to get loose in the bullpen. So Schlack out there trying to calm down Timmons so we can at least get a couple more hitters out of him before he can go to the bullpen, because Boyle won't be ready for a little bit more. Eddie Mccabe will be the batter as Schlack now heads off the field, exiting stage left. The back-to-back home runs, and 3 now overall from Glacier, powering this Range Riders offense. Eddie Mccabe stands in with 1 out and the base is empty. Single for Mccabe in the second, bounced out to Willman in the next half inning, 1 for 2. Now 9 hits for the Range Riders compared to just 2 for Missoula. Pitch to Mccabe is strike on the inside part of the plate. Bit of a delayed call, 0-1. Now, obviously, the Paddleheads offense more than capable of erasing deficits like this, but give credit to Glacier jumping ahead early in this one. There's a one-hopper shot to O'Connor, goes to his knees and makes the play for out number 1. That was not an easy play at all. O'Connor on an in-between hop goes to his knees, makes the stab for out number 2. Sharply hit off the bat of Mccabe, going the other way. Pitch on the inside. Doing a nice job, though, is O'Connor to get out number 2. Just a 4-3 in the scorebook as Ben Mcconnell comes into the box with the bases empty. 3 runs in this inning for Glacier. First pitch is inside for ball 1. And that's a big way for the Range Riders to answer also. The Paddleheads maybe get a bit of momentum on their side after Cam Thompson. Solo home run cuts into the lead. The 1-0 with 2 outs is just outside, 2-0. And when you get a swing like that to cut into the deficit, and you're playing on the road, it's always big to try to come right back, give some momentum yourself. That's exactly what the Range Riders have done here, getting their largest lead of the night. The 2-0 is at the bottom of the zone. Mcconnell didn't think so, stepping out of the box. Pretty close, a slider towards the outside. Boyle looks pretty much ready to go if needed down in the pen now for Missoula. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball left side. Willman's going to have to hurry with McConnell running. He throws quickly in time to get McConnell for out number 3. But back-to-back home runs does damage in this inning. A 2-run blast from Miller and then a solo homer from Brody Wafford makes this a 6-1 lead for the Glacier Range Riders. Bottom 5 coming up after this.
Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Well, the 4th inning proved to be, or at least I should say the last 2 half innings have proven to be all about the long ball. Bottom half of the 4th, Missoula getting on the board, a solo home run. However, Glacier says, well, we got your 1 home run and we'll raise you 1, hitting back-to-back homers in the top of the 5th to take a 6-1 advantage. As Keaton Greenwald leads off this inning against Solomon, taking the first pitch in tight. Greenwald's Brandon Reilly and Cam Willman this half inning. 1-0 to Greenwald. This one a rocket foul. Down by the bullpen, Johnny on the spot making the stop, I believe was Tyler Elliott, guarding Nate Boyle down there in the bullpen. Domingo Pena standing down there along with Jeff Lyle. Keeping an eye on Boyle. 1-1 is a fastball up high from Solomon. The solo home run in the last half inning, really the only blip for the right-hander, just 2 hits allowed. 2-1, working quickly to Greenwald. The pitch on the way is a sky-high pop-up on the left side. Calling for it is Dennison, the shortstop. He has it in between second and third for out number 1. Greenwald retired for the second time, 0 for 2, and his struggles at the plate continue over his last 3 or 4 games. Brandon Reilly now to the dish with 1 out and the base is empty. Reilly has been one of the few bright spots offensively for the Paddleheads. He has reached in both of his at-bats so far against Solomon, a base hit, the first hit of the night for Missoula in the 3rd. He takes up high in the first pitch here. Also led off the bottom of the 1st inning with a walk, did Reilly. I would imagine the night over for Timmons after 5. The 1-0 is up high. Was putting together some pretty solid work was the right-hander before running into that power trouble in the 5th. 2-0, ground ball foul. Pitch towards the bottom of the zone. I think Reilly's a bit ticked off that he went after it. Maybe a hair below the knees. We'd think that the Range Riders would stick with Solomon for at least 1 more inning after this. Obviously, that's predicated on how well he performs. 3-ball count now to Reilly with 1 out. Before turning to the bullpen. 3-1 pitch on the way. This is a ball hit towards the alleyway in right center field. This one is going to get down right in front of the Davis Brunner side. Reilly's looking for 2. The relay coming towards second won't get there in time. Reilly, an extra base hit, a double with 1 out into right center field. Brandon Reilly now 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He has 2 of the Paddleheads' 3 hits so far, as Cam Willman will look to keep it going now. Willman, a fly ball out into center field. This last at-bat caught by Ben Mcconnell. Nothing in 0 for 2 is Willman. 1 of 4 Ks for Solomon on the hill. Struck out looking also in the 1st. Pitch to Willman is a little cue shot foul. First base side 0-1. Something was off there with Willman's timing, sending that one out slowly towards first base. The night is over for Timmons. 6 runs on 9 hits. Couple runs, though, unearned due to a few errors. 0-1 delivery to Willman. This one is at the knees, called strike 2. Breaker on the outside corner. Other action around the Pioneer. We'll keep an eye on what else is going on. Mentioned how Ogden was out in front early of Billings, 1-0 in action at Lindquist Field. 0-2 with 1 out to Willman. The pitch on the way is way outside. Pitch ran right off the plate, away from Willman. Real low scoring action. They're in the 8th inning now. Last update we got from Lindquist Field. Bottom half of the 8th. Ogden leading 1-0 over the Mustangs. So both the Paddleheads and Mustangs struggling offensively so far on this Monday. We'll look around to see if we can find an update on the Chuckers and Voyagers as well. 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Willman. This one bounced slowly foul. That first game of a road trip, a lengthy one also for Billings. It's always tough. I would imagine that's about pretty close to what the Paddleheads have to do going out to Ogden, timing-wise. 7-8 hours. A little bit of a different route from Billings, obviously, than it is from Missoula. A ball and 2 strikes the count, with Reilly on at second base. 6-1 game. Willman staying alive. Fouls another one off towards the outside. So Reilly provides a bit of a spark in this inning with a 1-out double. Willman trying to keep it rolling. Haven't seen really much of any elongated success offensively. The Paddleheads have only seen more than 1 runner aboard in 1 instance, and that was in this 3rd inning. A ball and 2 strikes to Willman, battling away in this at-bat. Solomon's 1-2 pitch is not close, off the plate, ball 2. Pitch that sunk towards the outside part of the plate, but missed the outside spot by a good amount. Heck of an effort here by Willman to work it to a 2-2 count. See if he continues to battle. Pitch on the way is just fouled off. Tough pitch to handle, a breaking ball below the knees, off the plate. Willman was way out in front, but was able to wave the bat out there and just make contact. Staying alive, 2-2. This is a heck of a battle here. Lamar Sparks still waiting in the on-deck circle as Solomon and Willman battle things out. The 2-2. Breaking ball up high, ball 3. Not a bad idea in that spot. Thinking about the previous pitch that was down low, trying to change the eye angle, but Willman lets it go by and has worked it all the way to a 3-2 count. The payoff coming. It is not close. Fastball up and away for ball 4. That was a great at-bat from Cam Willman. Just never gave in. Fouled off pitch after pitch and is rewarded with a walk. Now obviously when you're in a spot like this, Paddleheads trailing by 5 here in the 5th inning, base runners are your friend. Try to get runners on, try to build up a rally. Conference taking place on the mound right now. Also some bullpen activity looks like will start for the Glacier Range Riders. Seeing a pretty tall guy go down there. I would imagine that's Austin Steinfort, kind of by default. Kind of hard to miss a guy that's 6'9" on the mound. I believe the tallest pitcher in the Pioneer. That's one thing about Glacier relievers. They got a lot of height to them. They got added to that also. One of the signings today as Lamar Sparks stands in. Rob Hamby, another one of their starting pitchers out of Georgia Gwinnett. He stands at 6'7". They just added former Paddlehead today, Kida De La Cruz, another big tall guy, as Lamar Sparks fouls one off. So if the Pioneer League were trying to put together a basketball team or a wrestling faction, I would think just pick out some guys from the Range Riders. Big, strong, menacing, tall dudes. With Livingston Morris leading the crew. 0-1 with 1 out. Sparks, a walk, or excuse me, a strikeout and a fly out. 0-1 is just outside, ball 1. Sometimes we've had to wait for that delayed call from behind home plate. Pretty close with that breaking ball towards the bottom of the zone. 6-1 deficit, but the Paddleheads building momentum with 2 on. 1-1 is up high for ball 2. And it's been Solomon's inability at times to throw strikes that has gotten him into trouble. 2-1 falls behind Sparks with 2 runners on. Jason Newman waiting next. Last thing that Solomon wants to do is walk the bases loaded as Sparks bounces one towards Dennison, the shortstop, and a couple of hops, flips to Cash at second. That's all they'll get. The force out at second base as Willman is retired. Sparks had a little bit too much heat coming up the line to try to get a double play. Glacier does get 1 out of that though. A 6-4 fielder's choice to retire Willman. Jason Newman comes into the box with runners on at the corners. 2 outs. Range Riders up by 5, but another RBI chance here. Touched on Solomon's connection with Newman, both playing together in collegiate wood bat ball. It's been advantage Solomon. The first 2 at-bats, strikeout and a broken bat, line drive. First pitch, Newman pops it up. Shallow right field. Going to be tough for Dean Miller. Backpedaling, he can't make the play on a backhand, and it's a fair ball. 1 run scores right behind his Sparks. The throw to the plate also gets away. Newman's going to try to make it to third and will, as the ball went out of play near the dugout on the first base side. Now there's some confusion. Newman trying to come home, and he's going to be awarded home, it looks like. Yes, he will be. Jason Newman comes all the way around and scores on that play. Unbelievable. Wow, Nick Hogan is going to come out of the dugout to talk with the umpires, but they initially have awarded Newman home plate. A lot going on that play. It was just a pop-up up the first base line. Dean Miller backpedaling, tried to make a backhanded catch. He could not. One run came in to score. They tried to make a throw to the plate with Sparks coming around third. And the throw gets away. Ball goes out of play, and it's deemed that Newman, by the time he was rounding the second base bag, was already in a spot where we would have scored. So the umpires award him home plate. Unbelievable. So we'll see a mound visit in this spot, just trying to calm everything down for Glacier. We will see pitching coach Mike Spears go out there to have a word. He's trying to bring some calm to the waters. So all of a sudden, that funky play here in the fifth inning leads to 2 runs scoring. 3 runs, rather. As both runners on the bases score, and then Newman scores as well. And it's all of a sudden a 2-run game at 6-4. What an odd sequence that was, as Nick Gatewood stands in and he takes the ball below the knees. Obviously not a home run, even though Newman came all the way around and scored from in the box. Reason he scored was an error. 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 outs. Base is empty. Gatewood takes inside. We'll have to get everything all sorted out of how it was scored. The 2-1 with 2 away is a ball hit into left field, a base hit in front of Broussard on 1 hop. So Nick Gatewood keeps the line moving with 2 outs. I would imagine that they will give Newman credit for a hit going up the first base line. So it was a tough play for the first baseman Miller, going to a backhand and shallow rights on that little bloop. Would think a base hit and then a throwing error that allowed all the craziness to happen. McLean O'Connor steps in all of a sudden, representing the tying run here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch on the way is off the plate. 1-0. Breaking ball, it's sunk off the plate away. So after the Paddleheads have found almost no success offensively, a 3-run rally here in the 5th to get themselves right back into it. O'Connor, 0 for 2 so far. The 1-0 is up high. 2-0. Action going in the Range Rider bullpen. At this point, I'm sure the Range Riders are hoping that Solomon can get through the frame, as the 2-0 is not even close. Way up high, 3-0. Nate Boyle is still throwing in the Paddleheads pen, so I would imagine he'll be coming in to pitch the 6th. And maybe more. 3-0 pitch. O'Connor hits a rocket on a 3-0 pitch, but it's foul. Sailing over the clubhouse, down the left field line. Safe to say O'Connor had the green light there. Whoa, baby, 3-1. That was a rocket over the clubhouse. 101 miles an hour coming off the bat. Just a little bit out in front of it, couldn't straighten it out. Almost saw the game tied on that swing there, though. 3-1, up high, ball 4. Now the tying run's aboard for Cam Thompson. See if that signals a pitching change. Looks like it will. As here comes Nick Hogan. Already have seen a mound visit, so this will be the end of the road for Solomon. So the Paddleheads, after being very quiet for much of this evening, find success here in the 3rd. That one funky defensive sequence telling a big part of the story. in this half inning, we will see a pitching change here for the Range Riders, as Solomon departs with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Didn't catch a number who just came out of the pen, so we'll let you know who this is momentarily. Steinfort was up for a second, but sat down almost immediately. So it's not Austin Steinfort that's come out. Looks to me John Notali is the new pitcher on the mound. Duke University product. Paddleheads haven't seen him yet. Juke Nutali is the pitcher. So that's what we got cooking now for the remainder of this inning here on ESPN Radio Missoula. Game 1 of a 6-game set will be at 7 o'clock all through this week through Saturday. Last opportunity to catch your Paddleheads at home during the regular season at least. You can catch some postseason baseball in a few weeks. Paddleheads hosting the Northern Division playoffs on September the 14th. That's when Game 2 will be. Game 1 will take place in the road ballpark of whoever wins the second playoff spot in the North. Format is Game 1 will go to the team that does not have home field advantage, with the team having home field hosting the next 2 games. So Missoula would host Game 2, and then, if necessary, Game 3 the next night. So that's the scenario for the end of the year. Again, the final 6 regular season home games, or regular season games in general, all on the road in Boise next week at Memorial Stadium. Series starting on Memorial Day Monday, and then the next 6 days. So pitching change is complete, and Cam Thompson will continue this half inning. So Thompson faces off with Natalie, the right-hander. First and second in this spot. Thompson all of a sudden represents the lead run in the box. Pitch on the way is taken up high. Fastball 1-0. So all of a sudden, after the Paddlehead offense was held very quiet, 4 consecutive base runners in this half inning. Thompson waits, the pitch 1-0. Swing and a miss, a challenge fastball right out over the plate, a ball and a strike. No real question about what was coming. It was just country hardball right towards Thompson. Thompson, a home run. His last at bat, he's been on base twice so far. The 1-1 pitch checked his swing, did Thompson. Pitch missed up high, 2 balls and a strike. But nice response from this Paddlehead attack. All the momentum after the top half of the last inning was on the Range Riders side, thanks to back-to-back home runs. Doesn't affect the Paddleheads, though. They strike right back. 2-1 pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. Fastball, belt high, strike 2. Another challenge. Blows it right by Thompson. 2 runners on in this spot. It's Nick Gatewood on at second base and McLean O'Connor at first. Single and a walk sees those guys reach. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Range Riders look to stop the bleeding this half inning. Bottom 5, 6-4 game now. 2-2 pitch on the way. This one is swung on and missed. Fastball on the inside. Gets it by him for strike 3. Good work with the fastball to get out of the jam there. And we are to the 6th inning. Paddleheads scored 3 times in the frame, though. Now just a 2-run deficit, 6-4, as we head to the top half of the 6th.
Into the deli located next to the roundabout at Higgins and Beckwith, or tune in to Nuanez Now every Tuesday for your chance to win. Taglieri Deli and ESPN Missoula providing you free sandwiches every Tuesday.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula.
What's up? This is Sammy B, the MC for your Missoula Paddleheads. Thanks for listening to Paddleheads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9 FM.
We roll on into the 6th inning, in what is now a 2-run contest. Thanks in large part to a crazy sequence that last half inning. Jason Newman in the box. It's a little pop-up up the first base line. The 2 runners on. Dean Miller backpedaling, can't make the catch. Leads to a run coming in to score directly to that. And a wild throw from Dean Miller gets away, goes out of play, and it ends up to 2 more runs coming in to score. It's the runner on. Sparks scored, and then Newman was allowed to come in from second base as well, with the ball going out of play. So, Paddleheads right back into it, and Michael Schlack will turn to the bullpen for the first time, sending Nate Boyle, rookie right-hander, out to the mound, face off with these Glacier Range Riders. Oftentimes, Boyle has come into situations just like this, out of the bullpen. First guy out of the pen, a guy that's capable of eating up numerous innings for you. Drew Sims will step in to lead off this half inning against Nate Boyle. Bottom third of the order coming up for Glacier. Pitch from Boyle on the way to start things off to Sims is on the outside. Strike 1. Drew Sims, Ryan Cole, and then Mason Dennison. Sims 0 for 2. Hit a ground ball to the shortstop, Willman. His last time, Boyle fastball 88 to 90 miles an hour. Good amount of sink to it from the right side. The 0-1 on the way. Goes towards the outside corner, but just misses there. A ball and a strike the count. Taking a bit off on that previous pitch was Boyle trying to find the black on the outside to the right-handed batting catcher, Drew Sims. 9 hits for Glacier, 5 on the other side for the Paddleheads here in the top of the 6th. 1-1. Ground ball to the glove of Newman. Tough hop on the right side, but able to handle it for out number 1. Once he corralled it at first, it was just a stride to the bag for him. Tough to handle that from Newman. Skipping sharply down the line. Newman probably did the best thing there, just kind of sticking that wide frame out, knocked it down, made sure it wasn't going to get by him either way. Was able to corral it cleanly. So Sims now 0 for 3 as Ryan Cole stands in. Cole's been on base once, reached on an error by O'Connor. First pitch, this one rifled to left field. Going back is Reilly. It's over his head and into left center field. Extra bases for Ryan Cole. Double into left center. That ball was rifled right over Brandon Reilly's head. Line shot, 101 off the bat. And a double for Ryan Cole, his 4th of the season. As Mason Dennison will step in. RBI single to get the scoring started for Glacier back in the second. Also a ground ball out to Willman tonight. Glacier has led since the second inning. Missoula has never led at any point. Largest lead for the Range Riders was 5 also. Briefly before the Paddleheads rally in the last half inning. There's a ball rifled into left center field, moving over his Greenwald. He dives, and he can't get there. Extra bases again. Dennison's looking for a triple, and he is going to make it standing up. An RBI triple, and an answer for the Range Riders. After the Paddleheads cut into the deficit, lead back up to 3 on the RBI triple to make it 7-4. Bottom part of the order doing the damage for the Range Riders here. Two guys that hadn't had too much success offensively. Two guys batting average below 250 at the bottom of the order. But a double and a triple with one out off Nate Boyle bears fruit. Now a chance to build a rally with the leadoff man Ryan Cash coming up. Infield playing a bit in at the corners. Newman parallel with the bag. First pitch, bouncing ball foul. Towards the first base coach's box. Strike one, 0-1. We've seen it a few times now from Glacier. Give them credit. After seeing success from the Paddleheads offense, they've come right back with counters on their side to stay out in front. Keep momentum in their dugout. 0-1 delivery. Not close, fastball off the plate. Ball and a strike the count. Looks like there is more activity going in that Missoula bullpen also. A ball and a strike with one out the count. Runner on at third base now against Boyle. Now a 7-4 game. The pitch to Cash is a high hopper. Newman reaches up. He has it. And he'll take it to the bag for out number 2. Good news, bad news though, as Dennison comes in to score from third base on that ground ball. So good news, 2 outs now in the inning. Bad news, though, is that the second run of this frame comes in to score to make the score 8-4 Range Riders. So an RBI ground out for Ryan Cash. Newman doing well just to reach up to make sure that one didn't skip right down the line for more extra bases. Brent Broussard now steps in with the bases empty. 2 outs. Been a great night for Broussard swinging the bat. First pitch is on the corner, strike 1. 3 for 3 is Brent Broussard. 3 singles. Now 11 hits for the Range Riders, up by 4, 8-4 score. Boyle's 0-1 pitch is a ground ball. Diving attempt by Thompson, he couldn't get there. Another hit for Brent Broussard. He is 4 for 4. Mentioned it, Broussard, a guy that's had his struggles at the plate. Changing that up big time tonight. What an effort it's been from Broussard. Broussard also has routinely struggled against the Paddleheads. My memory serves me correct, only 2 hits in the last 6 games set for Broussard at the plate, but 4 of those tonight. Have to be careful here also with the man in the box, Dean Miller. Whipped one to the moon, his last at bat. Over 400 feet to left field. Miller takes the first pitch, sinks to the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Mention how there was some activity in the bullpen. Auggie Voigt, the pitcher just signed today warming in the bullpen for the Paddleheads. 0-1 with 2 outs. Dean Miller waits on Boyle, the delivery. Taken just up high. Trying to go back to that off-speed sinker, but missed up high with it. Part of back-to-back home runs was Miller in the last half inning. 3-run rally for the Range Riders. They put 5 runs up on the board the last 2 frames. The 1-1 pitch with 2 outs from Boyle is forthcoming with the runner at first. It's Broussard, the pitch. Off the plate away. Gets away from Gatewood ever so slightly, but not far enough that sees Broussard try to take off. 2 ball, 1 strike is the count. 2 outs in the frame. Range Riders have led all the way through for the most part. Bullpen is quiet. Went to the pen for the first time in the last half inning. Solomon, this night is over. Ground ball right side on the 2-1 pitch. Corralled by O'Connor. He flips to Newman. That is the end of this half inning. But the Range Riders get 2 more runs on the board. RBI triple from Mason Dennison. He's brought in to score on an RBI ground out from Cash. We're headed to the peanut inning, the bottom half of the 6th. The Paddleheads need some runs, trailing 8-4. One swing and strike, another looking for Noviello quickly in a 2-strike hole. Oh and 2 in the peanut inning. Good to be back in Missoula. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses the outside. Pitch in a similar spot was called a strike, so makes sense for Natalie to go right back out there. Doesn't get the call in that sequence. The 1-2 on the way. This one a soft liner to left field. Broussard's going to watch it fall in. Little bloop base hit to start off the bottom of the 6th inning for Noviello. First single tonight for Andrew Noviello. Just a little cue shot off the end of the bat. Got down in front of Broussard. Leadoff base runner starts the inning, as Keaton Greenwald will now come into the box. Greenwald's quiet night once again. Very quiet coming down to the end of that Billings series. Greenwald swinging at the first pitch, fouls one away. Just kind of a strange series this past week in Billings for Greenwald. First couple games came screaming out of the gate. 6 hits in his first 2, and then just went dead silent the next 4. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Pitch up and in. Quickly 0-2 to Greenwald. What does Sammy B want? Peanuts, 0-2. Not too many of these peanut innings left this season. 0-2 to Greenwald. This is a base hit to left field. Hit sharply to Broussard on one hop. Sure, that one felt good for Greenwald after waiting quite a ways to get a swing like that. That was just rifled into left field. Fastball up and in. He jumped all over that pitch. 105 miles an hour off the bat. Back-to-back singles starts it off for Missoula here in the 6th inning. That sends Brandon Reilly to the dish. Brandon Reilly has reached base 3 times tonight. Single and a double in his last 2 at-bats. Started his night off with a free pass walk. 2 on, nobody out. Paddleheads continue to try to battle from behind, trailing 8-4. The pitch on the way. Foul, straight back. Looks to me, as we look down in the bullpen now, right side, some activity starting. My eyes do not deceive me. The former Paddlehead, Kita de la Cruz, just got up. Oh, that might be a fun one. Sequence as the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Sims fires it back towards second base. There easily is Noviello. Drew Sims trying to catch Noviello napping on second base. Coming off the bag with his secondary. But a bit of a ill-advised throw in my opinion. Noviello wasn't too far away from the bag. One of those can't really gain too much with the throw down there. Only thing that could have happened was see the ball sail into center field. 0-2 now, the count to Reilly. Here it comes. This a ball hit down the left field line. Broussard hustling over, and it is a foul ball. To the left of the line by a few feet. Fastball challenge from Natalie, 93 miles an hour with heat right down the middle of the plate. Reilly just couldn't keep it fair. Another newly acquired player for Glacier, Yasnir Lariano, formerly of the Billings Mustangs. 2 newly signed players. Interesting to see how they add onto the fold as the 0-2 is grounded right to Miller. Now to Cash for 1, back to first, and Miller was off the bag. So not a double play. Wow. Paddleheads catch a huge break in that spot. Looked like they were about to get a double play ball out of that. But instead, Dean Miller was off the bag at first. And now, hang on a minute. Now, Brandon Reilly has been called out. For what reason, I have no idea. Now Michael Schlack's coming out. What in the world just happened? Reilly was called safe initially. They must have said that Reilly came off the bag and was called out after the fact. Wow, what a odd sequence. Because no doubt about it, Reilly was called safe on the play at first. Dean Miller covering first base on the throw from Cash, trying to turn a double play, had his back foot come off the bag. So he was called safe. And apparently then, Brandon Reilly came off the bag and Dean Miller tagged him out after that whole sequence. That is bizarre. Wow. But at the end of the day, Glacier gets the double play that they were looking for desperately with 2 runners on and nobody out. Cam Willman will stand into the box now with now 2 outs in the inning and a runner on at third base. As Jeff Lyle loses the lid. Wow. Jeff Lyle just threw his batting helmet about halfway across the field. And he will exit stage left. I mean, that thing had some power behind it. Getting tossed to the right of the mound. So Jeff Lyle, unhappy about that sequence, obviously said his piece with the umpires, and he is headed to the showers. My goodness. A little bit of drama here in the bottom half of the 6th. Obviously not guaranteed to get any runs during the peanut inning, but fans getting their money's worth and looking at the drama here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Seeing a little bit of everything in this half inning. Again, the whole sequence was a ground ball on the first base side. Dean Miller threw it to second base to Cash to get a force out at second base. Cash then threw it back to first to try to get Reilly. Dean Miller's foot came off the bag. He was initially called safe, then was tagged out. I didn't see when he got tagged out, so I wasn't looking over at first base. Not sure if it was a hidden ball trick or something like that pulled off by Miller, but they catch Reilly off the bag and tag him out to record the second out as Willman takes on the outside corner, strike 2. So what the heck has been in the water the last 2 innings here in Missoula? Saw in the last half, Missoula scored 3 runs on that wacky play, again involving Miller. Little pop-up in shallow right, and 2 outs on another bizarre play in this inning as the 0-2 skips over the top of the protective netting, out of play. And this is going to allow Noviello to score, to make the score 8-5. This bottom half of the 6th just keeps on getting nuttier. Pun intended. You have got to be kidding me. Ball doesn't just get by Sims, it skips over the top of the protective netting behind home plate, out of play entirely. I don't think I've seen that in this ballpark in my 2 years covering paddlehead baseball. Nick Hogan is also coming out to check on Sims, the catcher. That ball apparently must have glanced him off the mask, so they're making sure that he's doing all right. Maybe got his bell rung on that wild pitch. So we see the strangest double play you'll ever see, followed by a run coming in to score on a wild pitch that comes over the top of protective netting. Huh. Weirdness here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Paddleheads now trailing by 3, 8-5. Bases empty. 1-2 pitch to Willman is skied foul off to the left. Willman is 0 for 2. Drew a free pass in his last at-bat. Great battle with Solomon. His last time in the box. 1-2 is fouled away. And it kind of started in a similar way to the way this at-bat has gone to this point, with Willman behind in the count early, but then just kept on battling away. Fouling pitch after pitch off. No more activity in the bullpen now for Glacier. The 1-2 on its way. Fastball high and outside. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Lamar Sparks would be next with the bases empty, bottom 6. Target from Sims looks to be away. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Fastball up and away, blows it by Willman for the final out of this half inning. 2 strikeouts now for Natalie. We will head to the 7th. Missoula still trailing 8-5.
The TuneIn Radio app. Now back to the ballpark.
We're back here in the top of the 7th. And we have a new pitcher out there. Making his Paddlehead debut is Auggie Voigt. William Penn University product. His second year of professional baseball. Was in the Frontier League a season ago. This season spent time with 2 separate clubs in the American Association. The Geary South Shore Railcats, as well as the Chicago Dogs in the American Association, and had pretty good success overall in both the Frontier League and the American Association. So Voigt will look to give Michael Schlack some more versatility out of the bullpen, and he alluded to it in his visit with me before the ball game today. He felt like he needed another arm coming down the stretch that was fresh, guy that's appeared in 17 games, so not too much work for Voigt so far here in 2022. But again, good success and a high level of baseball, the American Association. Brody Wafford will stand in to lead off this inning. He's homered twice in this game. Wafford takes down low, or actually no, a late called strike. Fastball on the outside corner, a delayed call, 0-1. Wafford home runs in each of his last 2 plate appearances. 0-1 towards the bottom of the zone, just missed with it. Scouting report on Voigt has pretty good split movement, downward bite. Fastball will be around 90 miles an hour. The 1-1. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. Wafford home runs in the second and third innings, and neither one of them cheapies. Long home runs, 1 to right field and 1 to left. Also, Wafford brings his total up to 19. 1-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball towards the outside, blows it by Wafford for out number 1. That one had some good life to it. Going towards the outside corner, 93 on the gun. First batter he faces, strikes him out. That's a good way to make some friends here in Zootown. Sends away a tough hitter as well in Wofford, as Eddie Mccabe will now stand in. 12 hits for Glacier compared to 7 as Mccabe bounces one foul. Look out, going down towards the Range Riders bullpen. Strike 1, 0-1. Range Riders are used to being on the field in pen. Bullpens are just like this over at Flathead Field. Field level, going down the right and left field lines. As are both clubhouses once they're finished. visiting clubhouse beyond the right field wall. 1-1 pitch on the way. Ground ball to the left of second base. O'Connor, a diving stop at second. He flips to first in time to get out number 2. What a play that was from McLean O'Connor going towards second base. Highlight reel stuff. We're on ESPN Radio, so who knows? Cue up the top 10. Out number 2. Holy cow, what a play that was. McLean Del O'Connor. World class for out number 2. Wow. Here's Ben Mcconnell. That was a fabulous play, as he's not even close on the first pitch. Mcconnell half waving and missing at a fastball. 0-1. Good life from the right side. Plus 90 velo. Strong start. The 0-1 is a changeup off the plate. Even count, a ball and a strike. Just another 90-plus mile-an-hour weapon for Michael Schlack coming out of the bullpen. The 1-1 pitch. Foul away. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Voigt's looking for a clean 1-2-3 inning. His paddlehead debut. Native of Illinois, so makes sense that he appeared with a couple of franchises in the Chicago area. Gary, Indiana, real close to Chicago, as the 1-2 is down low. 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Couple of former members of Geary have been out here in Missoula. Ray Jones, an outfielder, also was a Railcat, was here for a short time. 2-2 pitch, up high for ball 3. Fastball up and in to Ben Mcconnell. And the last guy you want to walk with 2 outs and the base is empty is this guy. He can start a rally all by himself. Just a burner on the bases. The payoff pitch is just off the outside corner. Good take by Mcconnell. Close pitch. He spits on it, and he draws a 2-out walk. That gives Drew Sims a shot. And I would imagine you will see Mcconnell take off at some point. 30-plus steals for Mcconnell. Leads the Pioneer League. I mean, heck, Mcconnell has more steals than a few teams around the league do combined. Thinking about the Boise Hawks, they only have 25, 30 steals as a team. When I last looked, Mcconnell, I mentioned, over 30 by himself. So, spot may be where the Range Riders can get a rally started just because of a walk. Drew Sims lets one go by. McConnell not on the move. Called strike on the inside corner. Strike 1, 0-1. 8-5 ball game here in the top of the 7th. Range Riders continue to leave. Voigt trying to make sure that no runs come in. The 0-1. Bouncing ball toward the shortstop. Willman goes the short way to second base. Out at second is Mcconnell. 6-4 fielder's choice. Retires the side. It is time to stretch here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Range Riders lead 8-5 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Missoula Paddleheads. 8 to 5. Glad to have you along with us. Got a pitching change taking place. Mike Biasilo has taken the mound. University of Delaware product. Making his first appearance against the Missoula Paddleheads in action here on a Monday night. So the second man out of the pen for Glacier. He will face Jason Newman to start things out. And remember in the last half inning, that very bizarre play involving Dean Miller and Brandon Reilly. Again, a little assist from Scott Gladstone, the play-by-play man from Glacier. He actually had time to go look at the video replay from on the stream side of things. And what happened at that play at first involving Reilly, where he was called out, strangely on that fielder's choice, what happened was that Reilly's foot went off of Dean Miller's foot when he was running by the bag. And the umpires saw it, and it looked like Reilly stepped on his foot and not the base. So the call was that Reilly never hit the bag, and when Dean Miller laid down a tag at some point, because he never obviously touched first base, was called out. That was the reasoning behind that whole weird sequence in the last half inning. Lamar Sparks actually leading off this frame. I said Newman, it's Sparks starting things off. So the heart of the order for Missoula, trailing by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Count is 1-0 to Sparks. The offering is on the way. Slider, bottom of the zone, strike 1. Biancillo, not a real big guy on the hill. 170 pounds, under 6 feet tall. So kind of going against that trend of size in the rotation for Glacier. Mentioned Rob Hamby's name. He is listed on the roster at 6'7". Quita de la Cruz, also well over 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", somewhere in there. 2-ball, 1 strike count. Here it comes. Breaking ball, just misses the outside. Seemed like Sims was just waiting for the strike call. Just had that pitch framed up on the outer half. Looked to be a tight little slider on the outside, just didn't get the call. Sparks in the driver's seat now in a 3-1 count with Newman waiting next. Range Riders have led for most of the night since the second inning. Missoula has never led at any point. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball, outside corner. Sparks way out in front. Count now full at 3-2. Pretty easy to say that Sparks was sitting on a fastball on that 3-1, looking for a challenge. Pulled the string, got him way out in front. Biancillo delivers 3-2. Reached for and fouled off to the right. The definition of an emergency hack there for Sparks. Wildly going after that one towards the outside part of the plate, but able to cover it to stay alive. Count still full at 3-2, trying to get a leadoff man aboard in front of Newman. 3-run deficit, 8-5. Here's another payoff pitch. Swinging a ball hit high in the air, left center field, pretty well hit. Broussard going back. Now Mcconnell comes in left center and makes the catch up against the wall. Broussard looked to be tracking it all the way. Mcconnell comes out of nowhere from behind and makes the catch up against the wall. Sparks gave it a ride, but not quite deep enough. Nearly 360 feet, but the yard holds it in. And Sparks is out number 1. So Sparks is now 1 for 3. As Jason Newman stands in with 1 out and the base is empty. If you're the Range Riders, you want to keep facing Newman. Spots just like this with nobody on. The first pitch to Newman. Fastball right there, strike 1. Bit of sink towards the outside, but right towards the middle of the plate. No ball, 1 strike count with 1 out. Game 1 of the 6-game set Range Riders looking for early success. The 0-1, Newman swings and hits one down the right field line, hooking well out of play. Ball sailing towards the Blackfoot party deck. Newman trying to just go with the location of what looked to be a changeup on the outer half, drive it out to right field. Was a bit out in front, it looked. Count is 0-2. The pitch on the way. Fastball off the plate. Ball and 2 strikes the count. Biasiello working in this inning. 1-2, here it comes. Ground ball to the shortstop. Dennison has it on a backhand. He flips across to the glove of Dean Miller for the second out recorded. Going through 2 of Missoula's best hitters. This 3-headed monster that has been Sparks, Newman, and Gatewood for most of the season. Biasiello facing his first test against the Paddleheads so far, passing it with flying colors, turning away 2 huge offensive weapons. 2 outs, base is empty. Here's Gatewood, trying to breathe some life into this half inning, the bottom half of the 7th. Here it comes. This one sinks down below the knees to Gatewood, 1-0. Gatewood, also a base hit. 5th inning was where the bulk of the hits came for Missoula so far. 7 hits in the action. 1-0, 2 outs, the pitch. This one grounded foul on the first base side. Another changeup towards the bottom of the zone. Gatewood able to get some wood on that. They've been attacking at the knees or just below with Gatewood in the box routinely. Have the Range Riders got him to swing and miss, strike out in the 4th at a pitch below the knees. A ball and a strike, the delivery. Swing and a miss. Knee high, 1-2. Gatewood took a mighty rip at that one. Could not get to it. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Range Riders looking for a quiet 1-2-3 frame here in the bottom of the 7th. McLean O'Connor would be next if this inning rolls along. The 1-2 offering. Swinging a fly ball off the end of the bat. Mcconnell coming in a few paces, a routine fly, and that is out number 3. Medium depth center field, Gatewood retired, and it is a quiet 7th inning. 8th inning on tap. Missoula trails 8-5.
Don't wander all over a box store trying to get your appliance questions.
And 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. Away from your radio? Stream Paddlehead Baseball live on 1029ESPN.com. Now back to the ballpark.
Auggie Voigt will continue his run out of the Paddleheads bullpen. They're looking pretty strong. His first inning of work as a Paddlehead. He will face Ryan Cole to start things off. followed by Mason Dennison and the top of the order. First offering is just low. Off the inside a bit also to Cole. Cole hit an absolute rocket in his last at-bat, a double into right center field. It just whizzed over the top of Brandon Reilly's head. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. A fastball up and away. A big rip by Cole, but he was behind it. Even count, a ball and a strike. 105 miles an hour off the bat was that double from Cole. The 1-1. This one a slow rolling ground ball to the left side on the second half. Thompson makes the play for out number 1. Believe Cole broke his bat also, so quite the juxtaposition from his last at-bat. Came against Nate Boyle in the 6th. Hit about as hard as you can see, and that one ate up Ryan Cole, who is now 1 for 4. That will send Mason Dennison to the plate. Good success from Dennison tonight. 2 RBI base hits. The first pitch here is way inside. Look out. Fastball in on the hands. And somehow Dennison gets out of the way. How? I have no idea. Quickly, like pirouetted almost out of the way. Little showmanship almost. Yellow, 1-0. Here it comes, the high leg kick, and this one way off the plate. That would be the toughest part. How the heck do you approach the rest of at-bat when you got 90 miles an hour coming at your ear hole? That's why they're professionals, folks. 2-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Fastball towards the inside. Dennison, a mighty rip at it. 2 balls and a strike. And from Voigt's perspective, why not try to attack the inside after missing way in on the hands? It's human nature to probably try to stay away from a pitch like that. That was right on the black, though. 2-1. Fouled off to the right. Again, attacking that inside portion of the plate is Voigt. To the right-handed batting Dennison, Ryan Cash in the top of the order, waiting next for Glacier. For both teams were kept off the board in the 7th. 1 out, 8-5 lead for the Rage Riders. The pitch 2-2 is strike 3 called on the outside. Fastball. Looks like it was a no-doubter. Strike 3, just had to wait a second for that delayed call. Second strikeout for Voigt on the mound. Only has allowed 1 base runner. Now an inning and 2/3. Nice work out of the bullpen to eat up some action here in the later frames. Keeping the Paddleheads right in it also. Pitch to Ryan Cash, swing and a miss. Fastball. Blows it right by him, 0-1. Hasn't been too much of a guess of what's coming either. Just country hardball from the right side. The 0-1. Below the knees. Fastball sinks to the inside part of the plate. Seen a couple of different types of fastball also. That right there with some sink on it, going towards the back foot of the left-handed batting Cash. Also seen a fastball with a little natural cut to it. 1-1 is just low. 2 ball, 1 strike. That was the more downward split type movement. 2 away. Haven't seen too many changeups. Has thrown a few. The 2-1 with 2 outs. Fouled off to the left. Trying to go with the location of the pitch was Cash. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Base is empty. 8-5 advantage for the Glacier Range Riders. Activity going in that Range Rider pen. Once again, the 2-2 pitch. Cash hits one down the left field line. Reilly, a long run, is going to watch this one go on to the grassy knoll. And the race is on. Where'd it go? Looks like the kids down the left field line lost it. And now they're going to need Nate Alexander to go fetch the foul ball for him. And he does oblige. Tosses it back into the fans. So not all for loss. Man, that would have been a terrible sequence if they couldn't get the foul ball back. 2-2 is a line drive. Diving attempt, but Willman can't get there at shortstop. 2-strike base hit for Ryan Cash. Just to the left of the bag. Good effort by Willman, but just couldn't quite get to it. It will not be a easy cruise into the night here in the top of the 8th. As Ryan Cash picks up his first hit and gives Brent Broussard a chance to improve upon what has already been a fabulous night. 4 for 4, 4 consecutive singles. Swinging and missing, though, on the first pitch here. Trying to go after a fastball, but was behind it on the inside part of the plate. I believe that is Kita De La Cruz warming in the pen for the Range Riders. The 0-1, half swing and a miss. Fastball up and in. 0-2 with 2 outs. Voigt's looking for his 3rd strikeout in 2 innings to get through another frame unscathed. Off of first is Cash, guy that does have some speed. The 0-2, off the plate away, gloved by Gatewood. Way outside with that off-speed pitch, but Gatewood able to spear it with his glove off to the right. A ball and 2 strikes the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on the move, and Cash pops it up, or Broussard does, near the dugout. Newman leaning over, couldn't quite get it. Just ran out of room. Range Riders players were bailing out of there in a hurry, with Newman coming close to the dugout. I think I would be too. Jason Newman is obviously not a small human being, and I would not want to be on the wrong end of him coming into the dugout. That sounds like something more out of a WWE pay-per-view event. We got bodies everywhere, going through a table. 1-2 pitch. Whoa, look out. Brent Broussard comes way up and in. Fastball was going towards his ear hole, and Broussard hits the deck. 2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 outs in this half inning. Cash was on the move earlier. We'll see if he goes again here in a 2-2 count. Voigt's delivery. Runner doesn't go. It's another pitch that misses high. Full count. So now with the count full, 3-2 with 2 outs, runner Ryan Cash will surely be on the move here. Brent Broussard looking to reach base for the 5th time in this one to keep this little 2-out rally going. Some activity has begun also in the Paddleheads pen. The payoff is a line drive down the left field line. This one hooking into the corner, and it is gone, a home run. Line drive home run for Brent Broussard on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Unbelievable. A 2-run blast for Broussard makes it a 5-run game. 10-5 now the score. And it's just been the Brent Broussard show here on this Monday night. 5 for 5 is Brent Broussard, with the highlight being now a 2-run home run. Wow. What a surprising night out of nowhere for Brent Broussard. As Michael Schlack calls time, headed out to the mound. Dan Swain is up throwing, and looks like they are going to bring Swain in. So Auggie Voigt, who was seeing good success going up to that spot, sees one get away, tried to sneak a fastball by Broussard on the inside corner. He turns on it and takes him deep into left field. So we'll see Dan Swain come out now to try to record the final outs of this, the top of the 8th inning. While we have a moment, we'll peek around at some other scores around the Pioneer League. Very low scoring affair between the Ogden Raptors and Billings Mustangs, but a tough loss in game 1 of that 6-game set, as things have already concluded for that ball game between Ogden and Billings. A 1-0 win for the Raptors tonight over the Mustangs. 1-0. Kind of a wasted effort from Kenny Serwa. Sounds like he was fantastic tonight. Over 7 innings of work. But with Billings getting shut out, proved to not be enough. So leaves the door open potentially for other teams in the Pioneer League North to gain some ground. Game of note to see who will gain ground. Will it be the Idaho Falls Chuckers or the Voyagers? With those two teams playing each other, obviously one team will gain ground and the other will not lose any. Looking at action, the last update we got from Melaleuca Field, or excuse me, it's Centene Stadium, the venue of that ball game, Chuckers and Voyagers. At the end of 6, about 20 minutes ago, Chuckers had a 7-3 lead over Great Falls. So if that result holds, Idaho Falls will be able to gain a game on Billings, who lost earlier tonight. If they do so, the lead for the Mustangs in that race for the second playoff spot would be trimmed to just 1 game. So, 2 outs, pitching change here in the 8th. Dan Swain coming out of the bullpen with 2 outs, just trying to get the final outs in this half inning. So oftentimes we've seen the Paddleheads have great success with the long ball, but tonight, the Range Riders have been the team with the upper hand, with the home run. They have hit 4 homers tonight. Brent Broussard, a big swing here in the 8th to extend the advantage. Dean Miller now to the plate as Swain is ready to go. First pitch. Miller fouls off. The first pitch he sees looked to be that power curve from Dan Swain. Really has started to put together some nice work out of the bullpen. This is 23rd time out for the Paddleheads, a 4.56 ERA. Had a scoreless stint in that last series in Billings. Typically come in spots like this, the 7th or the 8th, as Miller hits one sharply, but on one hop to the glove of O'Connor, who retires. The final outs of this half inning on a 4-3 putout. Thanks to Brent Broussard, who else on this night? A 2-run home run extends the lead for Glacier. It has been a night to remember for Brent Broussard. 4 singles and a 2-run blast, 5 for 5, powering this Range Riders order. Bottom 8 coming up. The Paddleheads will look for an answer after this. time out, overall has had pretty good numbers with Glacier in 14-plus innings. 19 Ks, a 3.07 ERA. First pitch to McLean O'Connor's taken outside as the Paddleheads will look to erase a 5-run deficit in the final 2 innings. 10-5 score. Big swing in the last half inning coming from Brent Broussard, a 2-run home run as the 1-0 is up high to O'Connor. O'Connor, Thompson, and then Noviello, 6, 7, 8. O'Connor has been on base once on a walk, 0 for 2. 7 hits for Missoula, doubling them up are the Range Riders. Hit total and on the scoreboard. 2-0 is below the knees, ball 3. 14 hits compared to 7 for the Paddleheads. 10 runs for Glacier compared to 5 for the Paddleheads. It's been Glacier out in front from the second inning on. 3-0 to O'Connor, looking for a leadoff base runner here. Called strike 1 on the 3-0 towards the outside portion of the plate. Trying to get on in front of Thompson, who's been on twice tonight. He has the 1 long ball for Missoula. 3-1. O'Connor, a big swing and a miss. Pitch towards the outside just a bit. Fastball, mainly just a challenge from Thomas. You would think that O'Connor would have been sitting on a fastball, 3-1. Couldn't make contact there. Now a full count. See what Sims draws up here. 3-2 pitch is a line drive, but right to the second baseman, Ryan Cash. Almost was behind the bag in that spot, just to the right of it. Deep second base, able to record out number 1. So the defense had it played right that time as O'Connor lines one right into the defense. And the leadoff man is kept off the bases. Here's Cam Thompson. Very quiet start for this Paddlehead offense also. Only had a couple of base runners through the first 3+ innings. Didn't have a hit until after Reilly's single in the 3rd. Thompson a big rip at the first pitch, 0-1. Thompson with 2 outs in the 4th inning did get Missoula on the board initially. A solo blast. Cut into the deficit at that point, made it a 3-1 ball game. Only to watch the Range Riders get the lead right back up in the next half inning. Broken bat, little bloop, base hit left field on a couple of hops. Thompson gives up a bat in that spot to get a base hit. His second hit tonight. 3rd time reaching base also. Base runner with 1 out for Andrew Noviello. Noviello, also a bloop base hit in his last plate appearance. 1 for 3 in the box. 1 out. With the deficit where it is, obviously activity on the base is always a good way to try to start something going along. The first offering, Noviello, a big rip at a fastball. 0-1. Good pitch to go after. Belt high fastball right down the middle. Elevated on a tee. Take a rip, see what happens. Came up empty in that spot. The 0-1 with 1 out. Thomas's pitch. Way inside, almost hits Noviello. A ball and a strike. Seemed like that one with some sink on the inside. Ended up just going right underneath the elbows of Noviello, missing him, not by a lot. A ball and a strike the count now with Thompson at first. Not a large lead, here it comes. Noviello sees this one go low and in the dirt. Blocked by Sims nicely. He's had a couple of good stops behind the plate. 2-1 the count. That was a big one there. Keeps the double play in order. That was not an easy pitch to handle at all. Short hopped fastball. Sims able to knock it down though. Keep it close. The 2-1. This one rifled it in dead center field. Mcconnell going back on the track and he makes the catch for out number 2. That ball was crushed off the bat of Noviello, but taking on the deepest part of the yard, and Mcconnell is able to make the catch on the track for out number 2. Just missing the barrel by a smidge, maybe. That now brings Keaton Greenwald into the box. So Missoula will try to build something now with 2 outs. Paddleheads running out of chances, down to their last 4 outs, trailing by 5. 1 hit tonight for Greenwald. This one swung on and popped up. Right side, who's it going to be? Looks like Cash, the second baseman. It is. Almost right in between first and second, out number 3. So a hit for Thompson in this inning, a little bloop, but that's it against Nathan Thomas. We will head to the 9th with Missoula trailing 10-5 on ESPN Radio. See what the 9th inning has for us here on a Monday night. Range Riders have led for the vast majority of it so far, double digits on the scoreboard. 10-5 is the advantage with the 9th inning beginning. Dan Swain, who got the last out of the 8th, will come out for the 9th and will face Brody Wafford to start things out. Wafford, big part of the offense. Long ball has been the key for Glacier. The first pitch from Swain dips towards the bottom of the zone. Delayed call. Strike 1. Good pitch. Snaps off a curve to jump ahead of Wafford. Home runs in the 3rd and 5th inning. 2 of the 4 home runs for the Range Riders tonight. The 0-1. Another curveball. This one misses just in tight. A ball and a strike the count. More activity going in the Range Rider bullpen ahead of the 9th inning. Will not be a save situation, but Missoula always seems to have a rally in the late frames as Wofford bounces one slowly to O'Connor. On the 3rd hop, throws to Newman. Routiner, out number 1. Wofford retired for the 3rd time tonight, now 2 for 5 with those 2 home runs. The 2 home runs from Wofford, a dinger from Dean Miller, part of back-to-back home runs in the 5th, and then also the 2-run blast in the last inning from Brent Broussard, as Eddie Mccabe will now come into the box. The first offering is a called strike on the outside. Brent Broussard, not a guy you think of for power either. That home run back in the last half inning was his 3rd. However, 2 of his 3 home runs have come against the Paddleheads. The 0-1 with 1 out. This one is just low. In thinking back to Broussard, the first home run Broussard hit against Missoula looked just like the one he hit in the 8th. fastball on the inside, just turned on it and lined it right over the wall. It's like how he did here in Zootown. 1-1 pitch with one out is a foul ball off to the right. Broussard, last 2 years, has been playing against Missoula, so maybe trying to stick it to a familiar foe from the last 2 years. Member of the Mustangs a season ago, this year with Glacier, 70-plus games. The 1-2 offering. This one a line drive to right field. Sparks drifting back near the wall, leaping, and he could not get there. So this one bounces away from Sparks. This will be a double for Eddie Mccabe. Looks like that curveball that just got up there a bit at the belt, and Mccabe smacks it to the wall. Sparks did what he could, leaping up at the wall, trying to bring that one back in, but could not quite track it down at the wall. So a double for Eddie Mccabe, his second hit tonight. Ben Mcconnell now to the dish with the runner on in scoring position, only one out, as the Range Riders try to add on to their 5-run advantage. Would be their largest lead tonight if they do. Tie for their largest lead right now. First offering to Mcconnell. Big curveball for strike one. Snapping those over in this half inning as Swain. Fastball velocity oftentimes gets the headlines from Swain, but this inning's been about the curve. Mcconnell a walk and a base hit tonight, 1 for 3. 10-5 lead for Glacier, trying to add to it here with a man on. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball just above the belt. And when you're able to snap off curveballs like Swain has been able to in this half inning, makes that fastball with 90-plus velocity look even more menacing from the right side. Also keeps McConnell guessing. 0-2 with one out. Runner at second base is Mccabe. Here's the delivery. Swinging a bouncing ball to the glove of Newman. Gets a high hop. He'll race McConnell to the bag and win it easily for out number 2. Not many races you're going to win with Ben McConnell, but an easy play for Newman there. As McConnell is kept off the bags. 2 outs. The runner, Mccabe, did advance to third base on the play. So we've seen Dan Swain be a bit wild at times this season. Puts a little bit of heat on him here to try to stay around the zone, keep a run from coming in on a wild pitch. Drew Sims to the plate with 2 outs. The first pitch to him. Sinks in to the zone. Strike one. Again, starting things off with the curve. 0-1. 2 outs, top 9. Swain looking to keep it at a 5-run deficit. 0-1 pitch is on the way to Sims. Another curveball. Strike 2. Towards the inside part of the plate. Sims has let 2 go by. 2 strikes. Give Gatewood credit. Keep putting down the sign for the curveball. Swain has a good feel for it. Keep on flopping them over. 0-2. Here it comes. Another curveball. This one breaks off the plate away. I believe by design. That time, they were hoping Sims would go fishing for one on the outside, and probably a good thought to think he would after taking 2 curves for strikes to start that at bat. 1-2 now. See if they stick with the curve or go with heat. The 1-2. Fastball fouled straight back. Sims was on it towards the inside. 1-2. 15 hits, 10 runs for Glacier. 5 runs, 8 hits for Missoula. Range Riders looking to start off this week of action on the right foot to move over 500 in action in the second half. Came into tonight at 17-17. 1-2 from Swain. Ground ball towards the middle, and Willman bobbles it, throws off balance high and over Newman's head. This bounces away towards the bullpen, and Sims will advance to second base. And that leads to a run. Now an 11-5 score. Willman just struggled with that play all the way. Bouncing ball to the left of the bag, didn't field it clean, tried to recover and threw it over Newman's head. And a run scores easily from third base. Lead is now 11-5, 6-run advantage. That will be scored as an error, not a hit for Sims. E6 is the call. And obviously that run coming in to score will be an unearned run, as Ryan Cole now bats with 2 outs and a man at second again. Pitch to Ryan Cole. Fastball misses the inside, 1-0. Apparently, with 2 outs, misses the strike zone. Gatewood had it framed up nicely, just did not get the call. Ryan Cole, a 2-bagger, 1 for 4. Range Riders holding their largest lead here in the 9th. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball, you bet, strike 1 towards the outside corner. A ball and a strike the count. Paddleheads have found a lot of success offensively before against Glacier, but the task gets all that much tougher. With a run coming in this inning, still a chance for more for the Range Rider. 1-1 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. It gets by Gatewood ever so slightly, but not far enough, where Sims tries to test it. Sims also has catcher's legs out there on the bases, so not a guy you think of for blazing speed. A ball, 2 strikes the count. Couple men up in the bullpen for Glacier now, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they decide to go for the 9th inning. Plans may be changing with the lead stretching out just a bit. 1-2. Here it comes. Off the plate away with the curve. 2-2. So the Range Riders are in the same boat as Missoula. Not having an off day, just rolling right in from a 6-game set. Only difference for Glacier was that they were on their home field yesterday, where the Paddleheads were over in Dealer Park in Billings. Had to drive back here to Missoula ahead of this series. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball blows it right by him at the bottom of the zone. That is the end of this half inning. An unearned run for Glacier, though, in the top of the 9th. It will take a heroic effort in the bottom half. 6 runs is the deficit. Bottom 9 coming up. 11-5 game. We'll see if the Paddleheads have something miraculous in them after this.
western Montana. KKVU HD3 Stevensville and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. Back to live local play-by-play on 102.9 ESPN Missoula.
Well, the Paddleheads have put up big runs against the Glacier Range Riders before. Will history repeat itself? We'll find out here in the bottom half of the ninth. We'll take a 6-run effort to keep the Paddleheads alive for a knockout. Paddleheads did, remember, in one inning on a Sunday afternoon, one of the wildest frames you'll ever see, 15 runs scored in one game against these Range Riders. Will be Justin Coleman taking things over here in the ninth. One of their more reliable relievers making his 30th appearance. Over 11 Ks per 9 for the right-hander. 46 Ks in 35 innings, a 4.11 ERA. 1-0 from Coleman is a line drive base hit into left center field. Reilly is thinking about a double as it goes towards the alleyway. Mcconnell's throw towards second is over everybody's head. So Reilly tested the arm of Mcconnell in left center field, didn't get all the way into the alleyway, but Reilly, good anticipation, takes off for extra bases. Brandon Reilly having a heck of a night. Relatively quietly, that's his second double this evening. Gets his total to the season up to 20. 3 hits, he's been on base now 4 times. 3 for 4 is B-Rye, as Cam Willman will look to keep it going. Willman, no hits, but has reached on a walk. First pitch to Willman. Fastball up or no. That delayed call has got me a few times tonight. Fastball at the top of the zone. Initially thought it was going to be called a ball, but a strike. Just Safford getting a bit ahead of himself. 11-5 game. Inning starts with a double. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Slider, 0-2. Fastball slider combination routinely from Coleman. Fastball does have pretty good life to it from the right side also. Around 90 miles an hour, 90, 92. 0-2 count to Willman with Sparks to follow. The 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball, this one grounded towards Dean Miller. At first comes off the bag, flips back to Coleman for out number 1. Reilly will easily stride into third base. But it's one of those situations where the deficit where it is now at 6, the Range Riders could care less about the runner on the bags. They are fixated on getting outs. In this spot, especially if it means a run coming in to score, if it means Sparks being retired, surely they will go for that. First pitch. This one is a strike at the knees. Range Riders have a bit of a shift on the right side. Ryan Cash playing deep at second base, just to the right of the bag. 0-1. The pitch coming to Sparks. Sinks off the plate away. Fastball, a 1-1 count. We saw the last half inning when Cash was played in a similar spot, ended up being the right call. With McLean O'Connor in the box, he lined one right to him for an out. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, fouled off by Sparks. Looked to be a bit out in front of that big breaker towards the bottom of the zone. Bit on his front foot, just kind of cueing that one off the end of the bat. A ball and 2 strikes now the count. Jason Newman to follow. Inning began with a double by Reilly. Sparks trying to keep the line moving, trailing by 6 in the bottom of the 9th. The 1-2. Ground ball left side to Dennison. It's short on a backhand, throws low, and Miller can't handle it. Also gets by him, so Reilly comes in to score from third on the play. Paddleheads a run on the board. The deficit is down to 5. 11-6 now the score. We'll have to get all that sorted out. Ground ball to a backhand of Dennison, the shortstop, threw it low to Miller. Sparks was safe on the play. And it looks like they're going to give Sparks a hit. Yes, they will. They'll give him credit for an infield single, saying that he was going to beat it out either way on that hopper towards the hole. Sparks with great speed, so I could buy that. Jason Newman now to the plate with one out. He takes up high. Fastball 1-0. Bullpen is not completely quiet off to the right. Still a couple of guys sitting down there for Glacier. Missoula with one run on the board. Still plenty to do here in the ninth. Trying to make this interesting. The 1-0 is on the outside. Strike one, 1-1. Also 1 out in this inning also. So anything hit on the ground could mean the end of the action. Only seen one double play tonight, turned by Missoula in the early innings. 1-1, broken bat, little sinking line drive, base hit to right off the bat of Newman. Second time he's gotten eaten up tonight. He's broken 2 bats, but just a little flip job into right field. Records the second hit of the night for Newman. Now 2 on in front of Nick Gatewood. And this is the way to try to chip away at a deficit like this. Just continually having runners on the bases, keeping the line going. Where Missoula really could start to make things interesting, obviously, is if they get this deficit down to 4 or lower. That means you could start seeing at-bats representing the tying run, those sorts of things. First pitch to Gatewood, hit the other way, foul. Third base side. Fastball down and in. Gatewood tried to go oppo with it. Oh and 1 with 1 out, bottom 9. The pitch is outside. 11-6 deficit. This Paddlehead team just never quits. That is one of the better attributes of this team. They just fight to the bitter end. Doesn't matter what the score is. 1-1. Gatewood waits. Here's the pitch. This one rifled into right center field. This one's going to get down and roll towards the wall. Sparks will score easily. Newman to third. Gatewood into second base with a double. Deficit is down to 4. 11-7 ball game now. On the RBI double from Nick Gatewood. Gatewood's second hit tonight. Still only 1 out in the frame, with McLean O'Connor stepping in. And we are going to see a mound visit in this spot as Mike Spears is going to go out, the pitching coach, to talk with Coleman. I'm sure just out there to try to calm the waters. So yes, the Paddleheads building some momentum. The message I'm sure here is, hey, still are not in a spot where O'Connor can do anything more but cut into the deficit. So just try to execute your pitches and get the last couple of outs so we can all go home. But the Paddleheads just keep on coming. McLean O'Connor will try to keep this rally alive.
Number 30 makes the noise for McCabe.
O'Connor with 2 runners on at second and third. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strike count. Bottom half of the 9th inning, 11-7 is the score. O'Connor tonight has walked as that one is swung on and fouled away. This inning keeps on getting wackier, folks. 2 runners on, and now a 3-run game as McLean O'Connor beats it out to first on that infield hit. Apparently having some technical issues on the radio side, trying to get that figured out as well. Of course, it happening at the worst possible time here in the bottom half of the 9th inning, with the Paddleheads trying to mount a wacky rally in this half inning. McLean O'Connor just reached on an infield hit. Now Cam Thompson in the box with 2 runners on, representing the tying run. Coleman's pitch is swung on and missed. Also a pinch runner on the bases now also. Patrick Chung is the new runner at second base. 3 runs put on the board. Cam Thompson has already homered once tonight. 0-1, 2 on. Peeking at second base, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball gets it by him. Up and in, 0-2. As the Range Riders desperately look for an out. Oh and 2, 1 out, the pitch. Breaking ball fouled off to the left by Thompson. Just sticking in this at bat. Single and a home run for Thompson tonight. He's been on base 3 times. His team just never quits. 3 runs on the board, 0-2 the count, with Noviello to follow. Coleman spins and fires back to second to check on Chung. No ball, 2 strike count, and he was leaning a bit. Had to dive back into the bag to get back in there safely. What a big mistake that would have been to get picked off at second base here in the 9th, but not to be. 11-8 game. Inning began with a 6-run deficit. Paddleheads battling with 2 runners on. The 0-2 is up high. Fastball 1-2. And with Coleman laboring in this inning, I'm surprised that Glacier doesn't have anybody up in their bullpen. A ball and 2 strikes the count with 1 out. Chung at second, the pinch runner with O'Connor at first that somehow beat out that infield hit earlier in this inning. Also an RBI double from Nick Gatewood in the frame. 1-2 with 1 out. Here it comes. Breaking ball up high. Count even at 2. Good effort here from Cam Thompson. Got behind right out of bed. 0-2. Fouling pitches off. Not chasing anything out of the zone. This Paddlehead offense, gutsy, coming down the stretch. Coleman on the ropes. 2-2. Here it comes. Swinging a pop-up foul. Thompson continues to battle. Fastball, tough to handle, in on the hands. Gets the bat on it to stay alive. Two balls and 2 strikes, still the count to Cam Thompson. Battling right down to the end. But it's been a wild night. Glacier has led for the vast majority of it as the 2-2 is outside by a smidge. By that much. Just missed. Tried to front door him with a slider and just missed. Very close. Ball 3. Endangered now of putting on the tying run to bring the lead run into the box here in the 9th. With Noviello waiting. Will the runners go? They don't. The 3-2 is a soft liner. Left field. It gets down in front of Broussard. Here comes Chung to the plate. And he scores. Throw towards third, not in time. Throw to second, not in time either. The deficit has been cut to 2. And both of the tying runs are in scoring position now with only 1 out. You have got to be kidding me. It is 11-9 with 2 runners on at second and third with only 1 out, with Noviello coming up representing the lead run in the 9th. This is unbelievable. 4-run rally, and they're not done, and there is no help coming from the bullpen. It's all Coleman to sink or swim. The first pitch to Noviello, swing and a miss. Fastball towards the outside. Quiets the crowd for now. A base hit and an RBI for Thompson, his 3rd hit tonight. Noviello also with 1 hit, 1 for 4. Does have some pop, no home runs in a paddlehead uniform, but 3 with Ogden. The 0-1 is on the corner, strike 2. Borderline pitch on the outside. Noviello doesn't like it one bit. Takes a long walk outside of the batter's box. Bottom half of the 9th, Paddleheads have made it very interesting with a 4-run rally, the lead run in the box. The 0-2 pitch, swinging a ball, laced to right, base hit for Noviello. O'Connor scores, right behind is Thompson. The throw is not coming in. This game is tied. You have got to be kidding me. A 6-run rally has tied the game. Andrew Noviello sends a 2-run single into right field. 11-11 is the score in the 9th. Now Missoula has a chance to win it. Here, the Glacier Range Riders just trying to hang on for a knockout. What an unbelievable effort in the 9th inning. A 2-run, 2-strike RBI single for Andrew Noviello. Wow. 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th. And the Paddleheads aren't done. Pinch runner is on at first base. For Noviello, it's Jared Akins here in the 9th inning as Keaton Greenwald tries to keep this mammoth of a rally going. 5 hits in a row. With 1 out, Greenwald's in the box. 1 hit tonight, it came in the 7th. And if Greenwald hits one in the gap, look out. Akins can fly at first. If he hits it to the gap, this game could be over. And now Sims is going to come out to try to calm down Coleman. I am shocked that nothing has started in that Range Rider bullpen. Must just be in a spot where they don't have anybody that can throw. Again, no off day for either of these 2 teams, so pitching with a tired bullpen potentially coming back to bite Glacier. First pitch to Greenwald. Outside apparently for ball 1. Breaking ball did not miss by much. 1 ball, no strike count. Andrew Noviello, a 2-out RBI single. Thompson, an RBI single. RBI double as well for Nick Gatewood. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner. Went right back to that spot after getting it called a ball the first time. A ball and 1 strike. An absolutely incredible effort from the Paddleheads in the 9th inning. Trailed all the way through. The 1-1. Swinging a ball popped up. Foul ground. First base side. Dean Miller. Does he have room? He does not. As it lands almost on top of the dugout on the first base side. This Paddlehead team was down by 6, seemingly with no momentum. Range Riders had scored 3 runs over the last 2 innings to grow their advantage. looks like they are in a great spot to set the tone here in game one. But the Paddleheads find a way. 6 runs to tie it. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball at the knees. Range Riders have got him down to 2 outs. Trying to hang on to this thing in regulation. Brandon Reilly will bat for the 2nd time in this inning. Brandon Reilly started this whole mess with a double into left center, and he has been swinging a hot bat tonight. 3 hits and a walk. This game can only end now in 2 separate ways. Either this being sent to a knockout or winning at regulation. Aikens bluffs towards second, doesn't go, as the first pitch is fouled off. And remember, Reilly does have plenty of pop from the left side. So not just thinking about extra bases here is Reilly. 13 long balls this season. Coleman trying to somehow escape this inning with still a tie game. 0-1 is up high. A ball and a strike the count. And you got to feel for the right-hander on the mound here. Just left out there in a tough spot, laboring, throwing a ton of pitches in this inning. The 1-1, runner takes off. It's off the plate away. The throw down to second is not in time. Glacier thought they had it, but no. Somehow Aikens was able to slide into the bag safe. Glacier thought they had the last out, throwing out Aikens on a P-rod from Sims behind the plate. Great throw from Drew Sims, put it right on the bag. Tough pitch to throw on, also a breaking ball low and outside. But now the Paddleheads have a man in scoring position. 2-1 now the count with 2 outs. First base is now open. Cam Willman in the on-deck circle. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a ball fouled off to the left. Reilly now in a 2-strike count with 2 outs. 6 runs got it to this point in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Tied at 11-11. Both boxes look exactly identical. 11 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors for both teams. Can Reilly find success? The 2-2 is down low for ball 3. Off the plate away with a curve. What a shock. Brandon Reilly in a full count. Looking for a pitch now to handle, to send everybody home happy. To end what has been a miraculous 9th inning. The 3-2 is taken low. Throw down to second is not there. Aikens striding off the bag. Sims trying to catch him off the bag, but was unable to. And Brandon Reilly keeps it rolling. Cam Willman to the plate for the 2nd time. 11 batters have now come to the plate in this rally. This inning just makes you think the Paddleheads never out of it. Started down by 6. What a wild 9th inning. What a crazy night in Zootown. Cam Willman now with a chance with runners on at first and second. Coleman's delivery is a check swing and a foul. Initially thought that Willman didn't make contact and that ball just got away from the catcher Sims, bouncing off to the right, but was off the bat of Willman. Breaking ball below the knees. Willman could not quite keep the bat back enough. Pinch runner Aikens, the lead runner at second, with Reilly at first. 0-1 with 2 outs to Willman. The pitch in the bottom of the 9th is a line drive into left center field. Moving over is Broussard. It's over his head and to the wall. Aikens can walk home, and we are all going home. on a walk-off double from Cam Willman. The Paddleheads put 7 runs on the board. It's 7 heaven here in Missoula. A walk-off double. And the Paddleheads miraculously defeat the Glacier Range Riders 12-11. What in the world have we just witnessed? To pick up their 60th win, Cam Willman with a rifle shot into left center field to send everyone happy. You have got to be kidding. Holy cow. That was absolutely miraculous. This Paddlehead team is something else. Wow. Just another night at Allegiance Field at Ogren Park. Wow. 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Cam Willman wins it with an RBI double. Whoa, baby. That is unlike anything I have ever seen. Holy moly. I guess we got to come back to wrap it up. That was unbelievable.
Brooks Nuanez of Skyline Sports has spent years patrolling the sidelines in the Big Sky Conference, and he shares that knowledge on Nuanez Now on ESPN Radio.
I think it's the only thing that people should talk about until it's fixed. I don't think there's any way around it. FCS football, and Colton, you hear me say this more than anyone around, it's a very high level of football. And Montana has a very high level of expectation within that realm of football. It's a very high level.